Nothing can stop me, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah, susceptible night before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Susceptible night before the moment flies.
All right. We're going to have a good one tonight, gentlemen. We've got a good one tonight. Usually it's us men speaking on behalf of why is it that women are not taking accountability? What has happened over the last 20 years that make them just kind of like feel nervous or shun accountability to the point where you're like, is it a medical condition? Do these women need some type of medication, some type of pills that will jar them back into taking responsibility? Because it seems that way. It seems like there is a global epidemic here in Colombia, in Asia, in the United States, Canada, as well as other countries. And the epidemic is, and there doesn't seem to be any cure, these women taking accountability. Is it that hard to apologize? Is it that hard to admit that you're just a human and we all make mistakes? Is it that hard for you to admit to yourself that, you know what I'm about to say is a lie, so let me not say it? Women globally have banded together and have decided that the one thing that we will not do is to take accountability. So is this just a banding of mindsets, or is this a medical condition that women need to be examined for? Either way, it's a problem that is causing more and more issues when it comes to the war of the roses around the world between males and females. But tonight we're going to hear from what women have to say, women that have decided to start taking accountability, to hear what they have to say. And we're going to hear a lot from St. Kevin tonight, because Kevin Samuels interviewed several women in regards to this epidemic of not taking accountability. But before we get started, you already know we're going to be doing the shout outs. That's one thing we're going to be doing on this channel. We're going to be doing the shout outs, and we're just going to do a little short update on the Diddy trial by way of Abba and Preach. Shout out to those brothers. I told you guys a few months ago when Diddy first got arrested, what did I predict when it came to the feds? It's going to be a snitchathon. I said to you guys, it is going to be a snitchathon. It will not just be one person snitching on the stand. It won't just be two. It's going to be a snitch marathon, a snitch fest, if you will. Snitch festivities. Come one, come all. If you want to fight a case, just come snitch on the diddler. You know, the last few days, man, last few weeks, all we've been hearing is each person getting on the stand, snitching, as if nobody had nothing to do with making the money. Nobody was involved in the freak-offs. Nobody was involved in, they make it seem like Cassie was innocent, the security guards were innocent, the kids were innocent, his homeboys was innocent, his attorneys are innocent, ex-girlfriends, all the people that was there at the freak-off. Everybody that's been to Diddy parties act like they ain't never been to Diddy parties. You notice that? Jamie Foxx claiming he ain't never been to a Diddy party. I ain't never been to no Diddy party. What you talking about, a Diddy party? I'm freak off. What about freak? Will Smith claiming he ain't been to no freak off. Jay-Z said, I don't even know how to spell freak. I don't know nothing about no freak offs. Kevin Hart, he like, listen, I'm on tour. I don't know nothing about no freak offs. All these same people that was running into that man's house on a regular basis wearing white clothes for every remember back in the day, it was the it thing to do to go to the Hamptons and be at Diddy's house and be at a Diddy party. Now everybody trying to act like they ain't never. He made 10 Diddy parties in a row that nobody ever went to any of those Diddy parties. I mean, even the super friends of the Justice League, everybody did that. Marvel characters saying they ain't been there. The Smurfs ain't been there at a Diddy party. The Justice League ain't been there. Batman, Aquaman, none of them. They ain't never been to no Diddy party. I'm telling you, Thor ain't been to the Diddy party. You ain't never had Thanos at the Diddy. Thanos looking like, I ain't never been no Diddy party. I ain't bring my glove nowhere to no Diddy party. You got Galactus, he ain't been there. The Eternals, they ain't been there. The one above all ain't even been there. Nobody's been to the Diddy party. Diddy was at all them parties getting his freak off by himself. He was making all that illegal money by himself. No, what's going on right now is a snitchathon. Everybody is snitching to keep from either doing time. I said this months ago. This how the feds work. I said this months ago over and over again. I told y'all Diddy is going to prison. All they're doing now is deciding how much time he's going to get, and that's based on how much money he's going to give to the federal government behind the scenes. If he comes out of 5 million, 10 million, he might walk away with 10, 15 years. You got to do 85 of that in the Fed. If he comes out of 20, 30 million, he might walk away with 10 to 12 million, 10 to 12 years. It depends on how much money Diddy pays the government behind the scenes. I'm telling you, it always works like that. I'm not saying it works like that sometime in the feds. Hear me out. It works like that every time in the feds when you're rich on Diddy's level. Every one of them rich dudes that I met off in the feds, that's exactly how they end up getting the 5, the 10s, and the 15 or 20 years that they got. Even cartel dudes from Mexico, mafia dudes from Colombia, all them do mobsters, the Italian dudes, all them dudes that work for Gotti. I'm telling you, all them dudes had to do 2 things: snitch, and if they were rich, they had to pay how much they weigh. That's how it works. We're going to look at what I've been preaching them have to say in a few moments in regards to the transcripts of the case. But before we do, we got 33 people in the building. Shout out to all you gentlemen that are here with us on Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. Glad to see you guys here. Let me scroll down and give some shout outs to all you gentlemen that are here, such as my man Kenny in the building. He said average black women need all the discipline and accountability at all. He said at well or as well, or we can replace them by incarnation. I didn't get that one, Ken. I didn't get that. You might have to rewrite that one for me, Ken. Shout out to my man Ronan in the building. Appreciate you, brother. He said, let's go salute Andre and Andre Love Crossing Borders. He said, my brother, he said, they will never be accountable for their actions. They are the queens of pew, 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 pew. I thought Wonder Woman was the only one that knew how to deflect. No, looks like many women know how to deflect. Yes, they are. They are the queens of deflection. Salute to the chat. Salute to you as well, Ronan. Shout out to you, brother. And my man Kenny Peoples, once again, he said, if they was well trained and well coached and disciplined, they wouldn't be acting out. And everybody wouldn't be so turned off. I'll tell you what's happening. I'll give it 5 to 10 years. This is going to be this is Andre's prediction for the West, for the United States, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, Eastern Europe. This is my prediction. You ready? As AI takes over and more jobs are lost, women are going to either fall back into the traditional roles that other women around the world are in. I'm talking about full scale traditional soft girl, not pretending like you're a soft girl, right? Or pay for play is going to skyrocket around the world. I'm talking about chicks that you swore would not sell that coochie on Instagram is up for the nearest bidder. Remember how Instagram chicks used to make their money off of brand deals and like who said that the other day? One master teacher, Skylar. I've been following this trend too. It's either going to be a reset of traditionalism because women are going to realize, they're going to start to realize in North America why women in South America have no problem with the family dynamic. The man needs the woman needs the man. In South America, they have no problem with that. In many parts of the continent of Africa, they have no problem with that. In Southern Europe, they have no problem with that. In many parts of Asia, off and on, they have no problem with that. But in the parts of Asia, the parts of Africa, the parts of North America and Northern Europe, such as UK and Austria and all these places, as AI takes over, and these women are not going back to school for AI. They're not retraining themselves. It's two things that's going to take place. They either going to humble themselves and all of a sudden they want to behave like the women in South America or in Southeast or in Southern Africa, or pay for play in the United States and in Canada is going to boom. And I wouldn't be surprised that in the next 10 to 15 years, pay for play in certain states start to become illegal, not just in Nevada. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I really see this coming that way. Because women know one thing and one thing only. You ready? If they ain't got nothing else to feed the kids with, they got some coochie, right? A fat girl can always find a simp. I'm serious. If America is 70% overweight women, those women will find a simp. That's guaranteed. There are too many simps in the United States for fat girls not to be able to get a man too. So it ain't gonna just be hot chicks being able to sell their coochie. It's gonna be fat chicks. The fattest chick that you know will be able to sell her coochie in the United States. You better believe that one. Unattractive chicks, as long as she can get some firehead, that unattractive chick in Canada, she gonna be able to sell herself too. That's the one thing that women know, that no matter where they live, there are sexual simps in the world. There are sexual simps in the world. See, it's one thing to do pay for play in another country because you're on vacation, you're a weekend warrior, you're just having fun, enjoying yourself. That's one thing. But there are sexual simps out there that if it wasn't for pay for play, they couldn't get sex anywhere. They need pay for play. They need it. Their confidence in their manhood is so low. And I'm talking about dudes that ain't even ugly. Their confidence in themselves and how they approach women and how they behave with women is so low that they would rather open up their wallet and be a sexual simp than to actually be in solidified relationships or have them a couple of side chicks to enjoy. I'm telling you, watch what happens. Okay. You think okay. Why do you think Instagram all of a sudden over the last 3 years have been flooded with booty bait videos? Remember on Instagram, it used to be a few chicks out there like, damn, she fine. And you could sit back on Instagram and you could be like, oh, wow, she fine. Wow. And you could be like that. Them days over. You notice how many females on Instagram shaking their butt now? Is it just me, or has Instagram become a soft version of OnlyFans? They showing more nipple. They showing everything but the nipple, actually. They showing the breast but the nipple. The skirts and the panties and everything so tight you can see everything. They putting a press between their legs. They spread their legs wide open. They got the ultimate back arch contest. Who can arch her back the furthest? Give me 9 back arch poses. These women now are in competition on Instagram for your attention. And as long as they're sexual simps in the West, these women know, listen, my degrees don't mean nothing no more. My education is not helping me anymore. I got 3 kids to feed and 2 baby daddies that ain't helping out like they used to. Actually, I got 3 kids to feed and all 3 of them over 18. So the baby daddies don't even owe me child support no more. How do I take care of these 19, 21, and 22-year-old kids? I got to go out there and shake my butt on Instagram and try to see if somebody will purchase me. That's all Instagram now is now. It is a place where you go to purchase if you're a sexual simp. You flying chicks out instead of flying yourself out. I'm going to say this again. This is what sexual simps do. They fly chicks out instead of flying themselves out. Y'all think I'm playing? That's my prediction for the United States, man, in the next few years, bro. And I'm not hating on the States. I'm talking about Canada too, UK, all of the West. All of the West. Do not take it for granted. These women are losing out on too many jobs that will not be replaced. These are not like his jobs that it's not like a regular layoff that, you know, is going to turn back around in a couple years. This is you are fired because we're getting rid of these positions to replace them with AI, with artificial intelligence. It's just like when robotics came about 30 years ago and Chrysler, Ford, and GM. I saw that's why I never. If y'all want to know why I didn't go into the auto industry, I'm from Detroit. All I had to do was turn 18. I'm gonna say this again. In Detroit, all you had to do was turn 18 years old, and you were being hired. Why? You got uncles in there, you got cousins in the plant. You always had a hookup to get into the plant. You always had a hookup to get into Chrysler, Ford, or GM. I didn't go that route. Why? Because by the time I returned 18, I saw robotics come around the corner. I saw robotics and technology coming around the corner. I said, I'm gonna go into some other field. Let me go into a different direction. Some of the things I did was positive, some of the things I did was negative. But I knew one thing, that going with Chrysler, Ford, or GM at that time period was temporary. Fast forward, all those plants, all those factories in Detroit shut down. Hamtramck, little town inside Detroit, shut down. All those men were laid off because the robotics came and took the place of a lot of what men were doing. It's the same thing with AI today. All those air-conditioned jobs that women are used to doing. Remember, we looked that up the other day. 90+% of all jobs that include air conditioning, women do. We looked that up the other day. These jobs are being replaced by robotics, and women know all they got left is that stanky fish smell coochie with the messed up pH balance. And there will be a sexual simp that will be there to purchase, from big girls to sexy girls. Watch what happens in the last 10 years. You've seen it happening live on Instagram. I keep trying to tell y'all, Instagram ain't nothing but soft scoring now. That's all it is, soft scoring. It's OnlyFans light. If OnlyFans had a Christian version, it would be Instagram. That's how bad Instagram has gotten over the last 2 to 3 years. You're going to see men still working. You're going to see women at home, and you're going to think it's COVID. You're going to think COVID is back. There's going to be so many women back at the house. You think I'm kidding? I'm not saying it's to attack women, but women know one thing. All they need is a sexual simp and a coochie. That's all they need. That's all they need. Bills to get paid, everything. Black men, watch what happens. How many women you see in interracial relationships? because black women will think running to Zaddy is going to help pay their bills. See, they know that she ain't no good. The white dudes, they don't. White boys, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You know why they love y'all so much? White boys, come here. You know why black women love y'all so much? You ready? Because you don't know them like we do. White brother, I know, I got you. I hear you, bruh. I hear you. White brother, you are like the new dude that moved into the neighborhood that all the girls like because you the new dude. You get that? White brother, when I was hanging out in your community, I was getting all the white girls I wanted. You know why? Because I was the new brother in your community. So since I was the new dude, they figured, hey, Andre don't know who all I smashed, so I could play innocent with Andre. Same thing the sisters doing with you, white boy. The same thing that the white girls did with me, it's the same thing the sisters do. No, bruh. Some of y'all, yes, white brothers. Some of y'all, they do love. But not all them sisters. Many of them sisters, white boy, Zaddy, hear me out. Stop. Hey, don't start crying. Man, y'all too damn sensitive, white boys. Stop crying. Wipe your tears. They only with you because they think they can get something from you that they know they can't get from the brothers because the brothers know them. We grew up with them in school. We were around them in college. We're their co-workers. We know how grimy many of them are and how they don't like to take accountability. So they know they can't come running to us when the economy get bad. Zaddy, they gonna run to you because you don't know she's a heifer. We know she's a heifer. You don't know. Okay? I'm just giving you you can walk off with your head down if you want to, white brothers. I don't care. Don't say nobody told you. Live out your black girl fantasy, but don't be acting like she all love you like that. We see it all over TikTok and Instagram. If you lost your job or your inheritance, white boy, she wouldn't give you 20 seconds of a time. That's why we don't mess with her. So any of you white dudes that think that y'all got y'all black girl and y'all came up on the brothers, don't you ever think that. And I mean the white dude that got the finest sister. Don't you ever think that you came up on the brothers. Because if she was that fine and that good of a woman, the brothers would have scooped her up, wouldn't we? If we had first dibs, right? We got first dibs, white brothers, first dibs. If we ain't scoop, did you ever ask yourself why the brothers ain't scoop her up? The woman that you call treasure might just be trash, white brother. So don't sit back and act like that you got something you can flex with, man. Look, the one I gotta find one. Yeah. Shout out to my white brothers, man. Thank you for listening, white brothers, man. Y'all gonna be all right once the swelling go down. You'll be all right once the swelling go down. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to my brother Keith in the building. He said, "What's up, chat?" Shout out to you, brother. Petronio ready. Hashtag. I see you, brother. And a conclave. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to my man Kenyon in the building. Appreciate you being here, kind sir. What's up, everyone? And my man GJ is in the building. I'm glad that you enjoyed that Kevin Samuels intro. Like I said, today we're going to hear from the ladies putting women in check about accountability, and we're going to hear from St. Kevin when it comes to how he used to put the ladies in check regarding taking accountability. We're going to hear that today. He said, "Why do you expect women to take accountability?" Don't expect it. Don't. Dude, I sit back here. I'm married. And even I have to make sure I'm strategic when it comes to my wife and accountability. You think my wife immune to the infections of the epidemic that's going around? No. We'll be talking about something that she did. Man, I got to keep her on. We ain't talking about that, Andre. We're talking about this right here. I be seeing in her eyes when she be when brain be churning, how she want to just deflect and she's slowly getting to that point where she like, I can't pull this. I can't do this to my husband because I know he ain't gonna let me veer off course. So I might as well go ahead and acknowledge what I did or what I said. And I remind her, I say, listen, that's not ladylike. You can call me, you can say I'm shaming her or whatever you want to say. I say, that's not ladylike, Andre. A woman that doesn't take accountability, that is very juvenile. And I'll let her know. Let the little girls out there that's not married be like that. You be married and you be different in your marriage. If I take accountability for my wrongs, which I have no problem with doing, you take accountabilities for your wrong, because a real man, a gentleman will take and acknowledge that, hey, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not expecting you to be a perfect person. And if you don't take accountability, you're trying to walk this marriage as if you're a perfect person, which I know you aren't. And she understands that. So if you think that my wife is immune to the disease that's out there, no, neither is many of y'all girls. I told you I'm straightforward with it, man. I'm honest, man. I'm about to sugarcoat nothing for y'all. GJ said, the real question is, why are men starting to turn out to be like women? Tis true. Tis true. We're no longer taking accountability for our actions. We're no longer, and that's the difference between, once again, the ninjas and the black men. Black men are men of standards and accountability. The buck stops here. Old school men knew the buck stops here. I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my standards. If it doesn't work out, the buck stops here. It was my fault. If it works out, I get the praise and the glory and the honor because the buck stops here. That's old school. These new YNs, they just like their mamas. They was raised by their mamas. I'm not surprised. I kid y'all not, man. I am not surprised. Dude, all we had to do was wait a few years for the offsprings of the kids of the 80s and 90s. She got pregnant in the 90s, right? She got pregnant in the 80s, right? All we had to do was sit back and wait for the kids to grow up to see the results that we already knew were coming. I saw this coming in I saw this coming in 89. I saw this coming in 94. I saw this coming in 2001. Nothing that these kids are doing today surprised me at all. How they dress like how they dress feminine, they dance feminine, they talk feminine, they react like their mamas do. Why you always hear me say a lot of men now talk like they single mama? You can hear it. You can hear certain buzzwords in a lot of men's dialect as they speak, because they was raised by a single mom and a single auntie and 3 single sisters. I know you guys aren't surprised that this is happening right now. I know y'all not, right? Man, I saw this coming in the 90s when they was locking all of us up and wasn't no fathers in the house. Either you was locked up or you was in the military. So military dudes, they gonna take care of business. The rest of us incarcerated. The rest of you guys were in college or in school, whether it was trade school, whether it was truck driving school, which is trade, or whether it was college. So you guys were gone. All these sisters left in the hood with Nook, Ray Ray, Keith, and Man Man. Man Man get arrested or go off to the military. These kids were raised, these kids that's 25, 26, 27, raised by their single mother. And all you have to do, I kid you not, all you have to do is just listen to the average young man, and I mean black and white, in the United States, and you can hear his mama. He reacts like his mama. He's emotional like his mama. He used buzz terms like his mama. He simps out because of his mama. He doesn't know how to, he calls women bruh. Oh, bruh, you tripping. See, bruh, oh, man, bruh, you know I love you. Why? He didn't have a father in the house to tell him, dude, you don't talk to a woman the way that you talk to a man. I've never said to my wife, bruh, see, you on that, see, bruh, you tripping. I've never talked to my woman as if she was masculine. But these young YNs, that's all they know. You hear all the terms that they mother. Just listen. All you hear is their mother come out of their voice. And some of you dudes don't want to admit it. You know why? Because some of those your sons. See, everybody want to act like in these WhatsApp groups and all these YouTube channels and all the chats. Every one of y'all sons living his life like he's golden. No, he ain't. It's some of you dudes in the chat right now. Your son ain't shit. You know it, I know it. You done said it for years. That woman didn't let, when you got a chance to raise that boy, that woman kept getting on your last nerve, wouldn't let you raise that boy into a man that he needs to be. She kept spoiling him. And now your son is 24 and a menace to society. He ain't never been arrested, but his behavior pattern, how he talks to him, how he talks, how he behaves, how he always needs a few dollars from dad. Boy, you 24, you ain't had no job yet. Your son got his second child already at 24. Ain't married nobody. Ain't in no relationship with nobody. I'll say it again. Your son is 24, ain't even in a relationship, and he got 2 kids outside of a relationship. Mama wouldn't let you teach him about condoms and common sense. So if y'all think that I'm speaking to this far off group of guys, no, let's be real, guys. Let's be honest. If I'm honest about my situation, you damn sure better believe I'm gonna be honest about yours. Some of y'all got some sons that you like, oh my God. Jesus, take the wheel with this boy. By the time you got a hold of him, he had all of his mama's tendencies, his mama's reactions, his mama's reflection, and his mama's, what my brother's saying, lack of accountability, the new generation of young men. Because the mamas tried their best to get the money from you, but to keep your son away from you as much as possible. And anything you did teach him, as soon as he got back to the house, she counteracted that. Soon as she got back to the house, you being too hard on that boy. What you mean you want him to play football? No, you ain't gonna put my baby on no football field. Everything was her baby, her baby, her baby. And now her baby 27 years old and working your last nerve with your last name. You look alike, dang. And this boy got my last name too. Whew. And you scared to get him a passport because you thinking if I get this boy, if he this bad in the States, he gonna be a menace. If I get him a passport, some of you dudes know better than to get your son a passport. Some of you dudes are excited. You got your son, he working on his second passport. He been hanging out with his daddy, traveling the world. Some of you dudes, you know, I will buy my son anything. I love my son. That's my number one man. But I would never buy that crazy young mother a passport. Hell no. Some of y'all know, do not get that boy a passport. You better get him a college education. You'll pay for his college education. You'll buy him a car, no problem. You'll help him get a job, no problem. If he want to get some counseling, you'll make sure he get the counseling. If he needs some new clothes, he needs some money in his pocket, he needs some condoms. You looking out for your son. That's your dude. But you know your son. You be damned if you buy him a passport. Because you know your son. So let's not all brand new that everybody got good sons in the chat. And that is all on the mamas. Nah, bruh. Shout out to all 51 of you guys in here. Shout out to my man El Patron being in the building, as well as my brother T Mac in the building. My Medellin brethren. Shout out to you. Angelupe 71 in the building. He said this. He said, mine is Ray. He said, and I can't say. He said, my name is Ray and I can't say. Shout out to you. He said, my name is Joe. I don't know. Shout out to you as well. My man Bill is in the building. Capital B representing. And shout out to my man Chad Tyrone is in the building, as well as my man Jay. What's up, gentlemen? Shout out to both of you guys. Yes, sir. Uh-oh, hit the wrong one. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Let me hit that one more time.
I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay.
All right. Shout out to you. My man David Dice of the Dice family, first of his name. He say, the family, Andre and Andre chat, what's good? We're having a good evening. Once again, in a few seconds, we're going to get started with looking at Abba and Preach break down the transcripts of the Diddy case. I told y'all it's going to be a snitch-a-thon. I told y'all a couple months ago, y'all laughed at me. I said, man, everybody's snitching. Everybody going to pretend like they either don't know Diddy or that they were paid off by Diddy, or that like Diddy was the only one in the room freaking himself off. You see how the freak offs look right now? Let's be honest. The freak offs, if you go by the amount of people that are snitching, you think Diddy was in the room by himself, freaking himself. All the pay for play acting like, hey, it wasn't me. All the dudes that was sleeping with the Diddy pay for plays, all the dudes that was getting smashed by Diddy, all them dudes, ain't none of them dudes came out. All them dudes that said they was getting the good from Diddy, all the men that was all over social media. Remember for like 2 or 3 years, all these dudes coming out, I was getting my back broke out at the deadlift. Ain't none of these dudes nowhere to be found. He took it from me. All of a sudden, they want to act like Justin Bieber don't need to be on the stand. He ain't did nothing. I wasn't around. Justin, you live in the house with the man. All of a sudden, they want to pretend that Usher ain't living there. You ain't see Usher on the stand. They want to pretend like Usher ain't been up in there. We were just eating cereal together. That was all. I'm telling you, it's gonna be, boy, it's gonna be more snitches and it's gonna be less snitches and more snitches. Shout out to Garfield being in the building. Shout out to you, kind sir. Glad that you're here. My man Tori's in the building. He say salute to my Detroit brother. Yes, sir.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Yes, sir. And shout out to you. He said, I got my hard copy of the book Anywhere Is Possible Today. Yes, sir. I got another one coming out I got another one coming out this month, as well as the audio versions of these books. And I have another one that I'm working on right now called Work Anywhere. Work Anywhere. And it's all about global job opportunities and government contract work and things like that, step by step, what you can do. Because a lot of guys are just nervous. They don't know what to do. They're like, man, if I go to another country and I work, will they fire me? And what if I get fired? What am I going to do? What will I do? And so this book is about the steps that need to be taken, the interviews that I'm going to be doing with guys such as Ronan and other gentlemen that I'm going to be doing interviews with to kind of like solidify. Don't be scared. Go for it. Anywhere is possible. Americans have most people do, have a bad habit of thinking that if I lose my job in my home country, I'll never be able to get a job in another country. I can't go reach out to another country and get a job. We just think like, man, it's over, man. I lost my job. I ain't got no way to make no money. And we delete ourselves, not realizing that you can work anywhere. Working anywhere is possible. So I'm trying to debunk that myth, especially during this time period when a lot of people are losing their jobs. Shout out to my man GJ once again. He said both of that is going to happen. Yep. Men act like women. Whenever I've learned how to be, or what I've learned to be, or learn to be women. Shout out to my brother T Mac with the $10 love. I'm gonna tell you something, T Mac, why I'm laughing. Every other episode, you got to cut a chick off. Okay, let's roll with it. T Mac said, I had to cut my cheek off, cut my cheek loose for the lack of accountability today. The struggle is real with women everywhere. That's why I told my story. I didn't want to make it seem like it's only in America. No, it ain't. That's a global epidemic. I don't know what women are going through. I don't know what's hurting their little soul to make them think that, oh my God, I can't take accountability. I look weak. I don't know what these women are thinking, but at the end of the day, man, it's crazy. It is crazy. Okay, I think I got everybody here. I got, yep, right there. Let me scroll down a little further. Shout out to Garfield Lawson in the building of the Lawson family. Garfield says that even if the women reset, it will still be too late. And even if the women reset, you know what I always say, you can find ladies, you can find love, but you won't find the right laws. That's why I never marry in the States again. Y'all ready? I meant that. You can find a good lady. You can find true love. But you better hope you never run across the laws in the United States when it comes to you and your kids, when it comes to divorce, alimony, child support. You better hope that she don't never be like Tia Mowry, all of a sudden wake up one morning and talk about, I want a divorce because I'm trying to find myself, and then want to come running back 3-4 years later. You better hope that you don't never see that. Like I said, you can find the ladies, you can find the love, but the part that keeps me at bay from the United States is they ain't about to change the laws, even if the ladies change. The ladies can change the United States, but you better believe Trump and the rest of the Trumpeteers are not about to change laws because you finally found love or ladies decide to change. That's not going to change. So since the laws aren't going to change, I decided I'd rather change the dressers. See what I'm saying? Like in the words of T.I., ain't nothing changed but the name on the mail. Seriously. He said later because all the good men, will already have their future women / wives and will be happy and have successful families. Absolutely correct. All of us good dudes, man, we already know, man. You get you a girlfriend, a couple girlfriends, or you get your wife, in some cases, a couple of wives, and we know how to chill. I'm telling you, dude, they ain't gonna have nothing left but Pookie, Ray Ray, and sexual simps. But really, for women, I'm gonna say that, let's be honest, guys. Let's be for real. All you good dudes, hear me out, seriously. For most women, because they got that, they got the vaginas, that's all they need. All they need to have kids is Pookie, Ray Ray, and Man Man. Let's be real. Pookie, Ray Ray, and Man Man ain't never bought no condom. They can't spell condom. They got 4 or 5 baby mamas, and there are women lined up in the United States to get black male sperm. They have no problem with Pookie, Ray Ray, or Man Man nutting right up in them, shooting up the club. We all know this. And we're talking about some women that are 6-figure women, have no problem with going down to the hood, let Pookie get her pregnant. She got money to take care of her baby. All she need is a Pookie to run up in her like he ran up in them other 6 chicks. Let's be honest. Let's not sugarcoat this thing. So they don't need us good men when it comes to having kids. When it comes to money, as long as they got them a sexual simp, a dude that would do anything for them, as long as they give them a little bit of sex, bruh, they don't need us good dudes. Women will never admit that they need good men. They will never admit that. You're crazy. It's too many Pookies out there. It's too many simps out there. Too many. It's way too many simps. Why? Because they raised a generation of simps. You see what I'm saying? That those kids that were born from 89, 90, 91, 94, 2001, them kids 24, 25, 31, 32, 33, raised majority, 80% raised by their mamas. They literally raised a generation of simps that are so much of sexual simps and sexual spending habits or simp spending habits. Them dudes don't know any better anyway. And if you try to tell a simp that he ain't a simp, man, he'll fight you about it. A simp will tell you, will cuss you out, fight you, and probably put a hot ball in you, dude, about trying to correct him about being a simp. Why? That's all he knows is femininity. That's all he knows is catering to women. He's never had a solidified male in his life. He ain't played football. He ain't played basketball. He wasn't going to the church with some deacons so he could sit up under, around some deacons and some of the other older church gentlemen to be around him. He had his granddaddy around him. She shunned his daddy, so his daddy couldn't raise him. There's a whole generation of simps, dude. It is not enough of us good men in our community compared to the numbers of simps in our community. There are far more simps in this generation compared to us that are old school good dudes. There's not enough of us good dudes. I'll say that again, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. If you guys think that there's enough good dudes for all the good women in the States, you crazy. You are crazy. There's not enough of us. There's not enough old school masculine manhood men focus on the family, the buck stops here type of dudes. It really isn't. And so at the end of the day, Pookie gonna give her all the baby she needs. Sexual simps gonna give her all the money she needs. She don't need us, and we don't need her. As long as there's a huge pool of sexual simps and a huge pool of Pookie, Ray Ray, and Man Man. Don't y'all ever think that we got the ups on them as far as the ladies. Yeah, we hold the line, fellas. The ladies gonna bow down. No, they ain't. I'm gonna say that again. If y'all think ladies about to change in the next 20 years, why should they? Why should they take accountability in the next 20 years? Why? If they got sexual simps and Pookie and Ray Ray, why should they change and be the women that us good men want to have in our lives? Why? They don't have to. They don't have to. It's sexual simps that keep these chicks. Dude, just open up your Instagram. They're going to automatically throw out a couple of hot chicks at you, right? Look in the comment section. Man, you don't see none but thirsty ass. She will tell you, I just lost my job today. I got in a car accident and I think I'm gonna have to wear a patch for the rest of my life. Half of my hair is gone. I'm gonna have to wear 9 weaves on top of my head. Now since I only got one eye, I can only have eyelashes on one eye. And dude, watch how many dudes in the comments be talking about, but you're gorgeous, but you're beautiful. You gonna make it, queen. You are all that, queen. Man, dude, sexual, you know who are I'm a Libra, so I'm gonna put it on the scale. You know who are parallel to each other when it comes to talking to women that ain't no good, but they got beauty. They have beauty, but they ain't no good. You know who are parallel to each other? Sexual simps and LGBTQ dudes. Read in the comments how sexual simps talk to women. And then look at what you know about what LGBTQ dudes say to women. You are a queen. Ain't no man should treat you like that. You are all that. I cannot believe you're so beautiful. How can you be single? I wish somebody would marry you. You need to come see me. Blah, 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 blah. Does that not sound like LGBTQ dudes? You are a queen, girl. Don't nobody need to treat you like that. You deserve to be royalty. They need to put you on a pedestal. It's the exact same thing. If you ever want to notice who are parallel to each other, the gay black man and the simp black man are literal parallel to each other in how they talk and don't even notice it. If you ever want to watch the simps, if you ever want to go to TikTok and just listen to simps talk, and then listen to the LGBTQ dudes talk, they all, among black men, they both sound the same. That's why you good men, they'll never change for you. That's why you need to get a passport and move on, because the laws won't change and the ladies don't have to change. The laws won't change and the ladies don't have to change. The laws will not change. And because of sexual simps, LGBTQ, and because of Pookie, Ray Ray, and Man Man, the women don't have to change in the next 20 years. Some of you dudes, if you wait on the women in the United States to change, you ready? or in Canada or in UK to change, your black tail will be 71. You're going to wait till 71 for the majority of the women to change, to become traditional, to become supportive, to become fit, feminine, and friendly. Seriously? I couldn't do it. You're a better man than me. Can't coach them. Can't play with them. Can't work with them. Seriously. Brothers understand AI is already taking over. Yes, it is. Can't Sit Still Bill. Man, I like that name. That's what's up, brother. Can't Sit Still Bill in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Yes, sir. He said, can't do the fat girl overseas is where it's at. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me scroll down a little further. Get in the guys that I haven't said. Like my man Jay Shar. He said, I believe that that most of the women will be asking if they can be additional wives, side chicks, or concubines. That's according to the Bible. In the last days, Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, we always quote it here. In the final days, those last days, 7 to 8 women will go to one man and say, we will pay for our clothes, we will pay for our food and everything else. That's what that one verse, Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. We will pay for everything. All we ask you to do, 7 women will say that. We need you to allow us to have your last name. It won't even be competition no more. It said in the last days, 7 to 8 women will go to one man and will say, we will pay for everything. Not get rid of her. You're going to be with me. No, these women are going to be share bears. You think it's coincidental that poly is starting to take root and grow a lot faster in the black community as well as any other community? White women gonna be sharing, black women gonna be sharing, Asian women gonna be sharing. It's gonna be a share-a-thon. I kid you guys not, man. I'm serious. That one you can hold on to. So if God says, they said, all you got to do for us, we'll take care of everything. Give us your last name. Didn't say give me your last name. The lady said give us your last name and take away our one verse. Give us your last name and take away our shame. What is the shame of a woman in the Bible? You don't have kids. From Abraham's wife all the way through the Bible, women have only had one shame. Kings have shamed and shunned and even deleted queens because of that one shame. You couldn't give the king an heir. You got to go. You got to go. Give us your last name, us, and take away our shame. Give us kids. Give us some kids. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. Don't y'all ever forget that verse. Anything that's going on in the world, you just sit back and you just like, whatever. Why? Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. Let women talk. Let them talk. I don't need no man. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. I don't need to be accountable for nothing. Whatever. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. I'm tired of these men. They gonna spoil me and fly me out. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. While all these women are bragging right now about being flown out, Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1 saying the women basically will be the flyer outers. The women will be the one that's pay for everything. The women will be spoiling the men. You notice how women are right now already starting to move in that direction where they say, why men acting so feminine? Why men want us to buy them the flowers? Why men want us to do this? Why we got to approach the men? Why, you notice that little slight movement has been going on like the last 5 years where women have been steady complaining. Men are acting like the women. They want us to approach them. They want us to initiate this and initiate that. You know why? Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1 says, the women will come to the men. I'll say it again. I didn't say it was right, because actually how society is supposed to be, like Abraham. I mean, not like Abraham, but like Adam. Adam was first. He was the one that showed Eve all around. Hey, this part of the garden, this part of the garden over here. Remember, this part of the garden too. But he said in the last days, the backwardness that you're going to see is going to be a sign. You're going to start seeing men sit back in the cut. You're going to see women going to the men in droves. They're bucking it right now. But I promise you, that shaming you for it, for sitting back, why you just sitting back? Why ain't y'all approaching us no more? Why don't y'all go to the meetup groups? How come y'all don't show up to the speed dating? How come y'all You know, those women are just fussing and cussing. Why are y'all living the life of Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, drizzle, drizzle? Why y'all doing that? Women are fussing and fussing and fussing, and watch what happens. They're going to stop fussing, and all of a sudden it's going to be the norm. It's going to be the norm. But here's the kicker. You good dudes won't benefit from it. I'm going to say that again. You good dudes, we old school. We still approach the ladies. So we won't benefit from Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. Who's going to benefit from it? Pookie, Ray Ray, Man, sexual simps. Pookie, Ray Ray, and Man, and the sexual simps. That's who the women are going to be running to. Pookie, Ray Ray, and Man for his seed, the sexual simp for his proceeds. One for the seeds, one for the proceeds. Us regular dudes, that verse was not meant for us. That verse was meant for Pookie, Ray Ray, and Man and the sexual simps to get his last name, to say I was married to a good man. They don't need the money. Remember, Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1 said they're going to pay for everything. Some of y'all looking it up right now. Is it even real? Is that a real verse? And now you're looking at, I didn't know that was in the Bible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's right there. Let's see who all I missed. Zero in the building. Milligram is in the building. Shout out to my brother. Hola, hola, hola. Montrez is in the building representing. Let me start running off at the mouth. My man Bobby Coltrane, up the Coltrane family. Appreciate you being here, brother. Hello, gents. Marco representing. Good evening. What's up, brother Andre? What's up to you as well, brother? And having a good night. Having a good night. David says this: one of the biggest turnoffs when a female can't admit she's wrong, so she uses sex instead. This is true. This is true. Yeah, crackhead baby. You have them crackhead babies. They grown now. Seriously, that's true. He said all facts. I've never referenced a woman as bruh. Never. Us grown men, we don't talk like that. Zeta's in the building. Yes, sir. He said that was my brother, saying father, different moms, and had to get that feminine stuff out of him to work. Get that feminine stuff out of him is a work in progress. Yeah, man. He said even my sister speaks that masculine manner. I had to stop her mid conversation. Yep, it's crazy. He said my mom didn't take accountability. She brought a new Cadillac and expected me to pay for it. Baby, I bought a Cadillac. Oh, that's nice, mom. Now I need the money. Whoa, pause, mom. You said that you bought a Cadillac. I did, baby. So how do you need me to put into the proceeds, into the pot? What you need? 1 to 2 payments? No, I need you to pay it off. What? Mom, come on now. He said, I helped with the negotiation to return the vehicle. Now, he said, not paying. He said, no, I'm not paying for no $850 a month for no car. Man, that's crazy. Shout out to my man Rico being in the building as well. Good evening to you, kind sir. Good evening to you. GJ says, I think about the brother. He said, I think about it, brothers. He said, think about it, brothers. Would you want to be in a room with two men effing? What you doing? What are you doing? Holding a light? Right. Everybody trying to pretend like they wasn't at the Diddy parties all them years. Shout out to my man Timothy Bright, Avengers Assemble. He say Isaac Hayes, the hardest working man on YouTube, like Isaac Hayes. Shout out to Isaac Hayes and Rumble. I appreciate that, brother. We need to get us in. I think we did a couple months ago. We did an Isaac Hayes movie. Shout out to my man Brand Nubian, them Canadian boys. Shout out to you.
He said, "Oh, Canada."
Shout out to you with the Colombian pesos, the 15,000 pesos, Colombian pesos. Shout out to you, bruh. Glad to see you enjoying Colombia. My man Zay, Mr. Peru himself, with all the video and photos, man. I've been enjoying Peru through your adventures, brother. Shout out to you. He said, hey, I resent that. He said, I was born in 95. He said, I only look out for what's in my best interest. Absolutely not a woman's best interest. But Zay, you're an old soul, though. See, you was born in 95, but you really born like in 84. You are old, so it's a couple of you young dudes, man. You, Austin Holloman, some of you dudes born out of the year that you were actually birthed in, man. You dudes got them old, mature souls, man. No matter good or bad, you guys are just mature. Who's like that? Chopper Pa is like that. Chopper Pa from Chopper Pa TV on YouTube. A lot of you young dudes, man, are really extremely mature, man. So when us old heads are talking about the young guys in their 30s, we ain't talking about you, because you guys are built different, man, completely different. Like Andre, Andre's an old soul. Some of you young people are just old souls. He say simp is another word for sucker. Yes, sir. Back in my day, that's what they called them. Zeta say, hell no. I have about 40 to 50 years lifespan left. He said, I'm not wasting it. Seriously, man. Y'all keep on waiting around for these women to change. They don't have to. They don't have to. Shout out to Ben Dixon in the building. Ben said, got here at the right time, and you are absolutely correct, Dre. The laws ain't changing. Brothers, get them papers and leave. Shout out to my man, Shade Tree Philosopher. I like that name. Always enjoy the content. Wishing all you gentlemen well and much success. Glad to see you here, Shade. Appreciate you, brother. Glad to see you here. And let's see what else we have. My man Los, the Cartagena King, Crypto King himself. See Crypto doing pretty well these past couple of days. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. He said that includes athletes and rappers. I agree with you. Seriously. Shout out to you. And my boy Sean D. Upshaw in the building. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thelonious is in the building. Shout out to you, brother. He said, what's good, Andre? And shout out to the chat room in the room, because here, chat lives matter. Shout out to you guys. And when I sit back and I say about that generation of men that were raised by single moms, and you can hear their single mom in their tone, don't think I was immune to it. Dude, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. It took me years to reset the Andre that my single mom in Detroit programmed me to be. I kid you not. It took me years to get past that I didn't have to be a street urchin. It took me years to get past that. It took me years to get past the fact that I didn't have to just use women for sexual. I could actually have women in my life, or a woman in my life, for other things other than sex. It took me years to get past of emotional reactions. I still get past that. I still sit back and have to kind of like tone it down. It took me years, dude. You talk about, I know with these young dudes that are trying to reset themselves after being raised by, I know what it's like. I've been through it. If you got an East Side Detroit mama that was from the 60s, 70s, that was in the game, dude, all I had in my house, the only men in my house, you wonder why I talk the way I talk. The only men that were in the house, dude, my mom always threw cabarets. So she was the cabaret lady. She threw house parties for grown people. So she was always the card party was at our house. Domino party was at our house. The spades party at our house. All we saw in our house was weed and before crack. Come on. My mom was the weed. She was the provider. The weed lady, the crack lady, the cocaine lady. If you need some pills, I remember she got in the pill game, man. I get $100 for this pill right here. This one pill right here is $100. Mom, I'm 12. I don't need to be no. And the only males that was around the house was pimps and players from the hood and from the streets. And these were cool dudes, man. Don't get me wrong. They weren't like they were bad dudes. But I knew that these dudes was making their money in the streets. I had to unlearn all that, bruh. All that. I thought being in the streets was legit. If you had you a regular job, cool. But if you didn't and you was in the streets, you had to hustle, get your money, get your money where you can, brother. It's all right. I had to learn, no, that ain't all right. That's how communities are getting destroyed, Andre, by people justifying criminal behavior. I didn't know any better. Dude, I was in my 30s by the time I had to admit being in the dope game wasn't good for anybody in the long run. It wasn't good for the communities in the long run. It wasn't good for the dope dealers in the long run. It wasn't good for the people on dope in the long run. Okay, if you think it was good, the dope was in my era was coming from the cartels in Colombia, right? They went to jail. Got to the States by way of Ricky Freeway in LA, right? He went to jail. All the dudes that was getting trafficking it from all different cities across the country. We traveling in this spot and that spot. We all went to jail. All the dudes that worked for us went to jail. Crackheads went to jail. Name one community from Colombia all the way down to the States that I just named that something positive happened for them. Every once in a while, somebody can slide through, kind of like Baby or Jay-Z, take their dope money and flip it into hip hop. But that wasn't everybody. Most of us from the cartels over in Colombia or in Afghanistan, all the way to the States, to that regular addicted person. All they wanted was the bodies in jail. That's all they wanted, like they're doing right now. All they wanted was the bodies in jail. It took me to 30 years old to realize that drugs destroy everybody. It took me 30 years. Some of y'all, I knew that when I was 12. I didn't. I was about 33, 34 by the time I had to finally admit, dude, this destroyed everybody. This destroyed everybody. Yep, King George too. Absolutely correct. Yep. Destroyed everybody. Shout to Bobby. He said, I was young enough to remember the drug dealers selling crack to the kids. It was crazy. Yeah. And I was selling crack to my school teachers for grades. Man, wasn't nothing better than having school teachers on crack. What? Listen, I'm going to pass this class. I will be passing this class. He said, hello, tell him Mr. Gilmore in the building. Shout out to you, brother, being here. He said, hello, all, heading to Costa Rica. for my 57th birthday. Shout out to you, brother. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm glad, brother. I'm glad you're having a great time. I love hearing us traveling, man. I kid you not. All right, I was going to do the highlight of the Diddy, but I say we've been here for an hour conversing. So I'm just going to go directly to our video when it comes to the ladies and Kevin Samuels talking to the women about being accountable. Because I don't know what this disease is that's going around the world faster than COVID, but it's an all-out epidemic. And do these women need a pill? Do they need to take something because of all that they're doing out there? Zeta says facts. He said, Dre, I used to see teachers get their dime bags. They would keep quiet and low. Yep, for real, man. For real. Paper Route in the building. Shout out to you, Paper Route. He says a lot of the low-level petty thief or petty thieves was used by the FBI and the CIA to dismantle several movements in the Black community. Absolutely correct. That is so true. So true. Let's get started.
Y'all, I miss Uncle Kev. Yes, Kevin Samuels. I miss him. If y'all didn't hate me before, I know you're gonna hate me now, but I do. I miss his content. I miss his truth. And I know so many women, especially Black women, cannot stand him. But it was about the truth. That was what it is. I realized as I share my content, speak up, use my voice, people don't care about the truth. They don't care about the truth. His delivery, everyone didn't love it, right? But did he tell any lies? No. There was no lies told. And I think that that's the problem, that we cannot get our ears to work to really comprehend that no matter if you don't like it, where's the lies? There's no lies being told. There's the truth, there's reality, and unfortunately, there's a lot of Black women, we don't live in reality. And I think that at the end of the day, I received the message, and I believe the overall message was for Black men and women to meet each other on your scale. If you're average, find your average man, got your kids, a man who gonna love you, take care of you and your kids, boom. Yep. But no, we are the women with multiple kids, multiple fathers, and we think we're supposed to just go out there and find a millionaire to just take care of us because we say so. It's unrealistic. It doesn't make sense. You have a good man who's willing to love you and your children, but no, he don't make enough money. He don't got this, he don't got that. You're average. Find your average man. That's cool. Average is cool. But again, it was the truth. Y'all don't like the truth. Black women, unfortunately, do not like the truth, and that is what is damaging our community. As I say all the time, we don't want to be held accountable. We don't want to be told what to do. We don't want anybody to try to elevate us. And if you speak the truth, they're going to hate you. That's just what it is.
You know, I just be sitting here thinking like, I wish Kevin Samuels was here so he can tell me what the fuck I'm doing wrong.
That at the time that I did that podcast with Kevin Samuels, that was 3 years ago.
Now, mind you, she was 29 3 years ago. She's going to talk about how she was 29. She's 32 right now. 32 years old. Very attractive. Very attractive. And her man ended up letting her go. And you're going to notice the reason why. Because this woman does not take accountability.
I was 29. I was about to turn 30. Right now I'm 32. I was dating someone at the time that I did that podcast, which Kevin Samuels didn't know. I'm very private with my relationships. So I was in a committed 4-year relationship at that time. And the person I was dating at that time was a die-hard Kevin Samuels fan. Like, when I went to his place and I turned on his TV and I typed in Kevin Samuels on YouTube, all of the videos, the little red line was at the end because he watched them all. And I'm telling you, Kevin Samuels brainwashed my boyfriend.
I used to say silly things like, where are all the good men at? Until I started taking accountability. Now I know I'm just an ain't shit ass bitch. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem.
He brainwashed him. Who he was in the beginning of our relationship and who he was at the end of our relationship was two different people.
Kevin's fault and her man's fault.
So we broke up. Okay, we broke up, and I'm telling you, that man, the things he was starting to say and do, I was like, who are you? You're not the same person I met and fell for. You're not. You're not. I was 29. He probably was like 33. And what I noticed in him was that he didn't realize it. It was subconscious, but he was looking for a male father figure. And I believe that Kevin Samuels was the perfect father figure for a lot of men who don't have, and as I'm seeing, a lot of men don't have father figures. So Kevin Samuels represented someone you could learn from, someone you could listen to. And of course you would want to. He was well spoken, he was well dressed, he could articulate himself. He could call a spade. He wasn't taking no shit. Like, of course, I can
The thing, ladies, see what happens is you guys will initiate everything under the sun except for physical intimacy. You'll initiate everything under the sun except for apologies. You'll initiate everything under the sun except for accountability. So you can initiate a breakup. You can initiate, oh, I need a space from you. You can initiate a divorce. But why don't you initiate something in the bedroom? A lot of times y'all can initiate something in the bedroom. That'll take care of a lot of y'all.
I was once told that women lose their value after 30. It literally drops in.
Now, the same one we just watched that lost her man at 29, now 32, still ain't got no man. She did videos when she said she had met an older man and was talking about, oh, girls, I got me an older man. Not even 3 months later, she came out with a video talking about, I don't like being with older men. This is her at 31. You just saw her at 32. She talked to Kevin at 29. Look at how she is, and you see why her man left her. And this is her at 31, how she's about to talk.
In half. I was 29 and I had 6 months before I turned 30. It was during a podcast with the late Kevin Samuels, and I argued with him. I got pissed off with him. I couldn't help but think about what my boyfriend at the time was thinking because he was a huge Kevin Samuels fan. Anyway, today happens to be my 31st birthday.
You notice that it's been 3 years she's still talking about the ex-boyfriend? She's 31 in this video. She's still talking about the ex-boyfriend. She's 32 in the video we just watched a few seconds ago. She's still talking about the ex-boyfriend.
That boyfriend and I broke up. I got over a year of therapy, started doing music, started doing my own nails, taught myself how to sew so I can better my swimsuit company, started my passion projects of giving back. Honestly, I don't know what value he was referring to. I'm pretty sure it was something about being in the dating marketplace or some bullshit.
Now she want to call it bullshit. If she was married with a ring on, because of that sexual marketplace value, like Kevin said, you lose your sexual marketplace value. You're not as attractive at 31 as you was at 25, 24, 26. You lose your, we all do. Men continue to gain our market value because of economics. But physically, we all age. Men have no problem with that. Women have a problem with admitting that physically, since that's all y'all got to bring to the table sometimes, that y'all cannot admit that you have aged out of the sexual marketplace. That's why she ran to an older dude, and that didn't even last 3 months. Older dude ran up in her ran through it. If she been in a relationship with an older dude for 3 months, you know he was smashing that coochie, right? Beating that coochie up, because when she went on TikTok, oh, I got me an older man. You can't tell me nothing. Here's a video about dating older men. They're so wonderful. They're so understanding. Man, it didn't even last 3 months. She came out with another video. I can't stand older men. I hate older men. Y'all should never get with an older man. They evil. Wasn't even 3 months. Older dude saw that she wasn't no good. Just a good lay. The younger dude who was watching Kevin Samuels saw that she wasn't no good, just a good lay. Now she talking about, I went to therapy and I learned how to sew, and I'm baking donuts and making cookies for myself, and I'm giving back to the community. And I don't know what Kevin Samuels was talking about as far as the value of the market. You know what he was talking about. But this is what we call lack of accountability, gentlemen.
Let me tell y'all something. I don't give a fuck what y'all think about my value, because I place value on myself.
Self-value. And I want you guys to remember this, even as men. Your self-value is great. That does not equate market value. Some of you dudes are some good dudes. That does not mean that you're valuable to the marketplace. Most men have no problem with admitting, whatever level of life I'm on, I understand where I stand in the marketplace. Cool. Let's be honest. Some of us at certain stage of our life, we were only worthy of the hood chick and the fat chick. We ain't had that much money. We ain't had that much going on. We didn't know what direction of life we wanted to go into. We was only good for a hood chick, a cute hood chick, or a fat chick. Let's be real. You get you a cute hood chick or a fat chick, but you ain't have enough money for the chick that was like that was well established. As you as a man, you knew that what you had to do to get your sexual marketplace value up. So you did all the things, went to the gym, you got some common sense in your head, you went and started traveling, you started getting your money right, and all of a sudden in your 30s and your 40s, your sexual market value has skyrocketed. No matter how you felt about yourself personally, self-value does not dictate market value. Men have no problem with admitting that. Women think that if I value me, then y'all should value me. No, sexual market value is not dictated by self-value. Yes, you should value yourself, but that doesn't mean that dude's gonna be falling out of the trees because you value you. Girl, you just a cute jump off now. You 32 years old, you going on 33, you just a cute jump off. Yes, you will get married. By who? A sexual simp. These are the women that sexual simps marry. Her too. These are the women, guys, that sexual simps marry. These women here. She gonna be married. She's not an unattractive woman. She looks like she's going to be attractive until her 30s and 40s, until her 40s and probably early 50s. Here's the kicker. It's going to be some sexual simp that come along. I don't know if it's a white boy that's going to be the sexual simp. I don't know if it's going to be some brother that's going to be the sexual simp, but it's going to be a sexual simp with some money. He got money in his pocket because he's got his value up in regards to that area of the market, and he could never get a cute chick when he was just a regular everyday dude. Now he decided to take his money and sexual simp with it. He's not traveling. He's not relocating. He don't need nobody that's quality. He just needs somebody cute on his arm to make him feel good because he couldn't get the cute chick in high school. It's some sexual simps out there, bruh. He could never smash a chick like that when he was 32. But now that he's 42 and got money in his pocket, he can run through her, just like the dude she just broke up with, the older dude. She's not going to talk. She's talking about the younger dude in this story. But in the other videos on TikTok that she has, she talked about how the older dude ran through her. Why? Because he had the money. He was the sexual simp. He had the money. He came through, ran through her for a few months, and he dipped. Now she really butthurt. That's why she talking like this. Because the younger dude kicked her to the curb, and the older dude that was a sexual simp came in, threw a few dollars on there, gaslit her, ran through her, and left. So now she bitter. Let's get back to the bitter babe.
Awesome. I don't give a fuck what y'all think about my value, because I place value on myself.
You can't teach accountability. Men, if she's not taking any accountability from the jump, don't wipe that girl up. She's not going to start in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. It's probably just going to get worse because you've enabled her to not be accountable.
Right.
That's work that should be done before you get into a relationship.
And for my fellow women out there who are younger than 30, older than 30, or being told that we exist solely to reproduce, your value is what you make it. I don't care how old I am. I care about how old I feel.
Unpopular opinion. A lot of women weaponize emotions to negate accountability. Accountability seems like such a big word to so many women already. They don't like to hear it. They definitely don't want to take that shit. So instead of taking accountability, what they'll do is they'll guilt trip you, use silent treatment, emotional outbursts, blaming, and avoidance, all to get you to do whatever they need you to do in those moments. And at that time, it's probably forget that they need to be taking accountability for something. And so inside of these relationships is actually emotional manipulation. And what it does is it creates trust issues, communication breakdowns inside of it with your man. Now, he don't want to have these deep conversations with you because he knows that this is what he's going to have to deal with.
How old I look and how wise I'm becoming. Because, baby, with age, I don't hesitate to set boundaries. I know my worth. The enemy wants you to think otherwise so you can rush into situations that are not for you.
Women don't tend to usually take accountability for is the lies they tell themselves. That's the key to what I just said. We say, oh, I'm not a liar because I tell everybody the truth. So why am I attracting a liar, Dr. Stacy? I can go through the commitment you make to yourself on a daily basis and how you lie to yourself. That usually is the breakdown. That's when the light goes off and they go, I have no integrity with myself. So that is why I'm probably getting men who have low integrity. I don't, that's funny, because I don't have any integrity, right? Energy attracts energy. It starts with you. And the thing about it is, we're human. Just make another choice. And every day you wake up, try to meet that choice and challenge, because life is challenging, with success.
There's a lot of men who are terrible at communication, but there are some men who are great at it and still run into brick walls when it comes time to express themselves to their woman, right? So we got to accept the fact that some women just don't take information well when they are the cause of the issue that the man is bringing to them, right? Like, they want communication about how hard my job is, I'm tired, my best friend snaked me, man, my mama tripping, my family want this from me, all that. And all that, they open ears, they sitting down with their therapist legs crossed with the notepad and everything, open ears to listen to you, right? But when it comes time for me to sit down and tell you about what you doing wrong, it's not as open. It's not as much of a, okay, I'm going to sit here and let him get at least a complete thought out before I jump in and I interrupt him before he gets across what he's trying to express. So again, if you want your man to be more communicative, ladies, let me give you a tip. Stop interrupting him when he's coming to you and he's trying to express himself. Acknowledge the fact that it took him a lot to sit down and talk to you in the first place. So when I sit down and I try and you interrupt me every 4 words, and then you question, damn, why don't my man talk to me? He talked to his friends, he talked to everybody, but he don't talk to me. It's because you can't shut up and accept what it is that man that loves you more than anything in this world is trying to get across. So again, if we want more communication, let's open the door for it.
And what?
I said being pretty is not enough for a lot of men because I'm pretty and I'm still single. So
what do you want?
Nowadays, I don't know. I really don't know what I want because these men, they don't know what they want. A lot of men don't know what they want in women.
That's what you call not.
And you said your house.
She said, I don't know what I want because men don't know what they want. That is accountability, lack of accountability 101. I don't know what I want in my life because other human beings don't know what they want. Therefore, if once the other human beings start to learn what they want in their life, then I'll take control of my own life. See how asinine that sounds?
What again?
33.
33. So regardless as to what men want, you don't know what you want?
I mean, I know what I want, but
Well, what is that? Guys, remember the first thing I said about ego? They're not willing to be honest.
to be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what I want in a man. Like, I've been screwed and fucked for so long, I don't know what I want in a man. Like, I literally don't.
Do you have any children?
Yes, I do. She's 5.
Okay. So start with the basics. Do you want to be married?
Of course, who don't want to be married?
Well, I'm talking
Yes, I
to
wanna
you,
be
and
married.
okay. I've asked you, what do you
I
want?
want to be married before I turn 40.
Okay. Why? Okay. No disrespect, but why is that? Was that so hard for you just to say? Because I've asked you, and you're like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. Then I ask if you want to be married. You say, of course.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I have trust.
I need you to hold the phone steady. You can't keep moving it all over the place, or set it down somewhere. Were your mother and father married?
Yes. What?
Are they still?
My mom and father was married, but they separated when I was like a baby and got with my stepdad. So that's who I know as a father, my stepdad.
Okay. Are your mother and your stepfather still married?
Them two ain't never get married. They just was together for over, I'm 33, for like 20 something years.
You just said your mother and your stepdad. Okay. All right. You just said that your mother and father were not married. Were married for when you were a baby. Then they got divorced.
No, they didn't got separated. My mama just recently divorced my dad.
Did they get married?
Like 5 years ago.
She framed
But
it with mom and
still,
dad were married.
I don't know. That situation was crazy. I don't know. But her and my stepdad, they've been together for over 20 something years.
I see your stepfather if they weren't married.
I don't know why they wasn't married. He still was married to my dad.
Did they live in the house together?
His question was, how was this man her stepfather if they weren't married? He is not her stepfather. He is mom's live-in boyfriend. I'm going to say this again. Don't let this part slide by, gentlemen. Some of you guys are playing stepdad, but you ain't nothing but a live-in boyfriend. Yeah, you've been with her for 9 years and you're not married. I'll say this again. You've been with her for the longest. If you're not married, you ain't stepped nothing in that household. You just the live-in boyfriend. Yes, you pay all the bills. Yes, gentlemen, you pay all the bills. Yes, that's you've been with her. You ain't cheated. You take the kids to Disney World once a year. All that. That does not make you the kid's stepdad. You have no fatherly rights in those kids' lives. I'm gonna say this again. This is gonna hurt some of y'all feelings. If you aren't married to their mother, and I don't care if you've been with the mom for 10 years, as a live-in boyfriend, you have no parental rights to claim, to yell, to make rules as a live-in boyfriend. I don't care if it's your house. I don't care. You ain't married a mama. You just a live-in boyfriend. It might be your house y'all living in, but you still a live-in boyfriend. Some of you dudes really think in the back of your head that you a stepdad, don't you? No, the hell you ain't. You ain't nowhere near stepdad. Well, she got 2 kids and I got 1 kid. And we y'all ain't no step family. She is not a stepmama to your kids. You might as well put that lie and get that lie out your head. Don't be trying to equate y'all. This is what gets me about people that ain't married, but ain't got the balls to do what we do when it comes to marriage. Y'all always want to play what we do, but you criticize what we do. Say this again. Y'all always want to play what we do, but you always got something to criticize about what we do as real married people. You want to play married. You want to play stepdad. There's some real stepdads out there. So all you do that come to Colombia and go to Brazil, and you got the chick that got a child, you ain't that child's stepdad. Okay, y'all been together for 10 years. You are not that child's stepdad unless you already technically married to that mama. I know that hurts some dudes' feelings, but let's be real with it. We can't just be, if we expect the women to take accountability, dang it, let's take accountability ourselves as men. You ain't a stepdad. You just a live-in boyfriend. You just convenience. You Mr. Convenience. She need a few dollars, you conveniently laying on the other side of the bed. She needs some sex, you conveniently laying on the other side of the bed. She needs some advice, you conveniently laying on the other side of the bed. She needs somebody to watch her kids while she go to school, you conveniently at the house. You ain't nothing but Mr. Convenience. Somebody to buy the kids school clothes, you conveniently on the other side of the bed. Somebody to help with the birthday gifts and the Christmas gifts, you conveniently on the other side of the bed. You ain't no husband? What the hell you think? What? You think because years go by with your Colombian chick that you really a husband? You are not a husband, bruh. You are not a stepfather. You're not. If we're gonna have the women take accountability, that's why I said don't let that slide by, because she didn't answer that question. She let that slide by about the stepdad. He said, how is it that your mother and the guy she's with, how is it that he's your stepfather and you guys aren't married? I asked that same question to you men. How the hell you running around on this planet talk about you a stepdad, you ain't put no ring on nobody's finger? I'm not saying that you have to. You ain't got to put no ring. Dude, you can die with her, bro, as far as I care. Y'all can live happily ever after. I'm cool with that. Once these cameras and light go off, my judgment don't mean nothing, right? It don't mean nothing. I'm just another dude on YouTube talking, right? I got you. I'm with you. But I'm telling you, stop. I'm also telling you let's not look at these videos and look at women being held accountable and be kiki kaka in the comment section. But then when it's time for us to discuss us men being accountable, now you want to talk like a single mama. Now you want to play dumb like single mothers do. So all you dudes that's dating chicks and you in other countries and you ain't married, dude, embrace who you are. You just Mr. Convenience. You just Mr. Convenient. You conveniently so happen to be on the other side of the bed to help take care of her kids. That's all you are, Mr. Convenient. Yeah, these men need to take accountability too. Shout out to you gentlemen. David says this. He said, Andre, I'm sorry, but I gotta say it. Our black sisters have to be taught these things that other groups of women already know. This is true. This is true. Accountability and respect. Because respect is just as important, especially to us men. Just watching KS old clips says everything. Shaking my head. That sister is just so lost. It's so sad. You know how we used to sit back and watch Kevin and we all used to be sitting up there as if we got our popcorn watching a movie and just watching a plane crash? That's what this sister is. It's as if we watching a movie of the plane crash, like we're watching Die Hard. Like, wow, I can't believe this crazy chick is actually crashing out on Kevin Samuels like that. Like, I don't know what I want from a man. But seriously, guys, my man, shout to Theo. Theo said, yes, they need meds. He always say, Drake cooking with good oil tonight. Yeah. Yeah. He said he went to the store. Seriously, man, I didn't want that part to slide by. Because I hear men criticize, I ain't never get married. A marriage ain't for me. That ain't my thing. Cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. I kid you not, ain't nothing wrong with that. But you damn sure imitate us well. You don't want to be a married man. Got you. But y'all love imitating us married men, don't you? Y'all would shack up with a chick 10 years, just the same length of many of our marriages. You'll do all the husband stuff. Everything that a husband would do, provide, problem solve, protect. You're the penis of the household. As far as the woman's intimacy, you do all the stuff that a husband will do, except jump the broom. You'll pretend like you us. You will talk like you us. If your girl put on a fake ring, you don't tell her to take it off. If your girl in Taiwan or in Thailand walk around with a ring on, you ain't gonna say nothing. You know it and I know it. But you ain't gonna do what we do. You ain't gonna jump that broom. So I'm here to tell you, you faking it. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but you just Mr. Convenience, bruh. And it hurts to hear that, man. I ain't no Mr. Convenience. Yes, the hell you are. You the convenient dick on the other side of the bed, right? If there's a bump that goes in the night, boom, what's that noise? You are the one that she conveniently look at to go check out what was that noise. You conveniently the one that mows the lawn on Saturday and takes the trash out twice a week. Because you conveniently on the other side of the bed, she ain't got to do it. If she need to go to the grocery store and she needs somebody to watch her kids and your kids, you conveniently watching the football game, so you gonna conveniently be the one watching the kids, right? Bills need to be paid. You conveniently 50-50 or 100 or 80-20, whatever it is, right? Don't tell me you ain't Mr. Convenience. As long as you got your ass on the other side of that bed and you ain't husband, you can Mr. Convenience. She can conveniently take advantage of everything that you are as if you're a husband without having to worry about your ass ever being a husband. Y'all think y'all hurting the women? Man, you Mr. Convenience. You think you hurting a woman's feelings when you don't marry her. If you doing all the husband stuff anyway, why the hell should she worry? A lot of times women only want the ring for show. Not for you. I'm gonna say this again. A lot of time women want the wedding because they were raised to get the Barbie doll wedding. They want the bragging rights. I'm a wifey wife. Outside of that, bruh, you doing all the other stuff for free. So if you don't give her a ring, you Mr. Convenience. Don't be hurt. Don't be butthurt by it. I'm seriously. All you do is in other countries. All you do is in Colombia, you got the chick all next, you Mr. Convenience. You been with her for what, 7 years? Man, you Mr. Convenience, dog. If you hit the 5-year window and you ain't putting no ring on the finger, but you steady taking care of her little girl, and you met her little girl when she was 3 and she 9 now, she 12 now, you Mr. Convenience, dog. And I know right now a lot of y'all butt hurt because of that truth, but that's what it is. Tomorrow morning, when you get up in the morning and she gets up and she needs money for an Uber, your ass gonna conveniently walk over to your wallet and give her that money. She conveniently needs some money for get some groceries for you and the kids. You go conveniently go with her to that grocery store. You go conveniently make sure you carry most of the bags into the apartment. You Mr. Convenience. I don't know why you trying to act like you Mr. Necessary. You ain't Mr. Necessary. You Mr. Convenient. I'll say this again. You walk around and you think you Mr. Necessary, don't you? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You think you necessary, don't you? You convenient, bruh. In other words, if you ain't on that other side of the bed, it'd be another dude just like you on the other side of that bed in Cartagena, in Sosua, in the Philippines, in Peru, in Mexico, in the States. You Mr. Convenient, not Mr. Necessary. You think you Mr. Necessary. Just like we were looking at holding the sister accountability because she thought it doesn't matter what y'all think, it matters what I think. It was funny when we was looking at the sister and laughing at her. But now I'm telling you about you. Now watch the numbers start to go down in the chat. Watch the numbers start to drop down. It's 73 in here now. The more I talk and holding men accountability, watch how the numbers start to drop to like 61, 42. And then 5 minutes later, y'all come like y'all do every show that I've done when I'm talking directly to us men. Y'all do the same damn thing. Y'all leave the live stream. It's at 67 right now. It'll drop down, and then y'all will come creeping your ass back in here, and it'll be 84. Instead of just sitting back in the barber shop and take it like a man. Because if you want to kiki kaka at the ladies, we need to be able to kiki kaka at ourselves sometime too. You always want to hear the truth and laugh at the ladies. But when it's time to listen to what had to be said to us, nobody wants to hear. That's why Kevin Samuels for 5 years talked to men and only had 50,000 subscribers in 5 years of YouTube. Went over 1 million plus in less than 2 years when he started talking to women. Now all y'all want to kiki kaka and everybody want to subscribe. He couldn't get brothers to subscribe for shit when he was just talking to brothers. But soon as he started talking to women, all us brothers want to run over there, kiki kaka, and here. You don't want to hear that you are not necessary. Nobody wants to hear that, but you aren't necessary. Meaning that if you leave, it feels a void. It feels like there's a void in the universe. That's a necessary dude. A necessary dude, when you leave, it feels like a void in the universe. Andrea can go on a trip out of town with her mom. I can feel the void in this home. It's not just she's not here. I can feel the energy, the atmosphere shifts. She feels it the same way when I leave and go to the conclave and hang out with you guys. That's when you Mr. Necessary. You can change the atmosphere. Your ass, you just convenient. Your ass can be replaced by the drop of a dime in Medellin, by the drop of a dime in Philadelphia, in Kansas, in Detroit, in Texas. You ain't necessary. You just convenience. That's why that lady's mom had been with that dude for all those years and they hadn't been married yet. He was Mr. Convenience. He helped raise the daughter that Kevin Samuels was interviewing, the lady. But notice they ain't never put no ring on it. He wasn't necessary. He just convenient. A lot of you dudes don't want to hear that. Yeah, it's down to 66 dudes now. It's going to keep dropping. I already know it's going to keep dropping. Dudes going to run. Y'all never want to hear the truth. Why? This is what, now y'all see what I started off the show by saying. What did I start off the show by saying? I said the latest generation, these men is like 35 under. What did I just say? Who did I say they remind you of? The single mama that raised them. Whenever you put a woman in check, she shut down, don't you? Who else does that? Men that were raised by single women, they shut down. That's why I've been noticing that it took me, like I said, it took me about 4 years to notice it on live streams. Whenever I'm talking about women, dude, it's 115, 130, 200 of y'all in here. When I talk about men, man, them numbers drop. Y'all do not want to hear the truth because you want to feel like you're necessary when your ass is just a convenience. You like a Christmas tree. You great for when somebody needs you, but ain't nobody gonna miss you when we put you away. If you ain't around, ain't nobody gonna miss you. And that hurts your little soul to hear that, don't it? You think that you really need it in that house, don't you? Leave and watch how that house continue to keep on going. Rent continues to get paid. Them kids gonna continue to eat. They're gonna continue to age. Uniforms gonna continue to get paid for. Why? Because mom gonna get somebody else. She gonna get another Mr. Convenient. Just because you were here for 5 years in bed in Kia, don't mean that your ass can't be replaced. Conveniently. Now it's creeping back up to 70. Remember I said we started at 73. watch how far up it goes. It happens every time. Every time I'm talking about men, it drops down and then it creeps back up further than what it was before. Every time. My man Dave said, I'm here to take accountability. My man, shout out to Marco. Hey, dudes always want me to say the fun stuff. Hey, we're in a barbershop, do a barbershop talk. Shout out, guys. Dudes want that all the time. But as men, we can't give each other that all the time if we're gonna grow. We got to give each other that, that WD-40, that oil that makes us run like NASCARs. You say truth hurts. As a pseudo stepdad, you have all the responsibility, but zero authority. None at all. Correct. My man Jay Carson, shout out to Jay being here. Jay and Theo in the building. He said, I was one of them before he was talking to women. He said, I loved it. He said, I was like, I need to make a big shift in my life. Yes, sir. I was watching Kevin before the women came along too. I was probably watching Kevin like a year or two before the women came along. He was just talking to dudes. He had just moved into like he was still in the smaller studio. I think it was like a small room, a small closet type of thing. He was still in that atmosphere. And Theo, shit, man, he been getting Kevin Samuels shout out. Some of you do need to go back and watch some Kevin Samuels. Man, it will amaze you how many shout outs that Theo and Obsidian and O'Shea are the top three dudes that I remember getting the most. I know other guys got shout outs like Quiet Storm and other dudes, but as far as like the volume of shout outs, those are the three names that I heard the most as far as when I go back and I watch Kevin Samuels videos. Shout out to Theo. He said, yes, the average black woman is lost. Yet Colombianas find it. Yes, sir. It's all good. He said, it's all good. We all right. We're going to be all right. Yeah, man. Shout out to Zeta. Zeta says the convenience men got in their feelings. Yeah, they did, man. I kid you not. I know it every time. Every dude. Shout out to Thelonious. Thelonious said Pastor Spence is up in this thing. Yeah, man. You heard? Yeah, man. I kid you not. Dudes be in their feelings. Shout out to my man Jay Carson with the $10 love. He said here's something for the collection plate. I appreciate it, brother. He said this is how the elders used to talk to us or talk to us. He said the silent generation didn't hold back. Yeah. Absolutely, man. I want to do just give it to me straight, man. You ain't got to sugarcoat it for me. You ain't got to put no cut on it. Give it to me straight up, man. I'm not one of those dudes that's in my feelings, emotional. Tell it to me straight. And I'm like that with you guys. That's why I always tell you know what gives me the right to say some of the things I say if y'all want the truth? Because I'm bold enough and brotherly love enough to tell you my truth. See, it would be hypocritical if you guys didn't know anything about me. You didn't know I was locked up in the feds. You didn't know I was married for 14 years. You didn't know some of my ins and outs. You didn't know some of my economic situations. You didn't know some of my blessings, my ups, my downs, my ins and outs. If I had sold y'all as if Andrea was always perfect and she walked on water, and I sold y'all as if I was perfect, I would be a hypocrite. I share my stories and we kiki kaka about Andre's stories because I know there will come moments in time where I got to talk directly to you about yours. So if you can sit here and drink your drink and eat your popcorn and hear me talk about my stories of 10 years being in the feds or my mom being in the dope game, and y'all mama ain't been through all that, and me hanging out with being raised by basically pimps and players, y'all should be man enough to sit back if every once in a while I say something that's gonna cut you too. Because if I ain't got no problem putting a blade to me to make my life better, you know I ain't got no problem being your Dr. Dre. Seriously, that's what gives me the right to say what I say. Because I tell you guys, I'm not super transparent like I tell all my business, but stuff that pertains to manhood and the development and growth of manhood, I have no problem with sharing my journey from homelessness, living in abandoned buildings. I have no problem with telling my journeys. But you need to man up. If you man enough to hear my stories, you need to be man enough to sit back and take some of these and kind of like when the show go off, analyze it. I don't expect you to hear the truth or accept the truth right now. I know men. I've been talking to men for years, dude. Men, we never understand or accept something initially. Never. I don't know one man that does. We kind of take in things when we're kind of like sitting on the porch, or when we're in the bed laying down, or when we sit up there watching the game, the commercial come on, or we're in the car driving. All of a sudden, what came on, what Andre talked about last night, hit me when I'm in the car driving. Or I'm laying in my bed, I'm just chilling. I couldn't sleep that night, and all of a sudden, something that Dre said or somebody else said comes to my mind. Or I'm outside mowing the lawn, just minding my business, listening to my music, and something that Drake said come along. I never, ever expect men to catch what I'm saying in that moment. I just ask you to hear me out. Just hear me out. You don't have to agree or disagree in this moment. I'm just trying to give you something to chew on later on in the next 2 or 3 days, because that's how us men think. Don't ever think that I'm thinking that y'all should agree with me in this moment or understand what I'm saying in this moment. In this moment, you might say, Andre talking shit, forget what that dude talking about. I got you. I'm not talking to you in this moment anyway. I'm talking to the you that's going to think about it in 3 days, 4 days, 4 weeks. Remember Paul said in 1 Corinthians, I think it was 1st or 2nd Corinthians, one plants the seed, another person may come along and water the seed, then God gives the increase. I might be your planter or your waterer. God gives the increase down the line. One plants, one water, God gives the increase. That's how my life is. That's how most of the dudes' lives is that I deal with. And most of you guys, most of us that I've ever met, most men, we never catch on like immediately. It usually take us a couple weeks, couple days. Like, and I thought about what you said, dog. I got you. I feel where you coming from with that. I ain't think about it like that. That's how us men are. That's how we are. That's why when dudes disappear, now it's down to 62, now it's down to 60. That's why I'm gonna be upset with dudes. Watch this. When I go back to the girl doing the video with the ladies, watch how the numbers go back up. It's down to 60. I told you guys it's gonna drop. From 73 to 60. I told you I was gonna drop. Now, when I go back and start showing the videos with the ladies, watch how it goes back up. The same dudes that didn't want to hear what I had to say will come creeping back in. And they always do it, come creeping back in. Oh, he ain't talking about the guys no more. Okay, it's safe. Y'all funny, man. I love y'all, though. But don't think Dre don't catch on. I'm an old head now, man. I'm an old head now. He said, I'm the same age as Dre. He speaks with conviction, truth, and experience. Thus, I listen to my brother. Wisdom knows wisdom. Yep. And the Bible says sword sharpens sword. Yes, sir. Shout out to my man Necro and being in the building. Appreciate you being here, brother. Let's get back to the ladies. Oh, we're down to 56. There we go. I said 57. Like clockwork. Oh, we're down to 53. There we go. Shit, we might get down to 43. Let me get back to the ladies. Watch what happens. Now we're down to 53. Watch what happens. It'll take maybe 15 minutes. And all of a sudden it'll start going back up.
Yes.
All right. You have any siblings?
Yes. I have 2, but my brother passed away last year.
Sorry to hear that. Your mother has 3 children?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello to you.
All right.
December.
So, young lady, just in this little bit of time of talking to you, it's been chaotic. I'm just asking you just the basic stuff about who you are and what you want. And The story where you told the story is, yeah. This, you can't make this shit up.
For men, this is a red flag. If she can't take accountability in a relationship, how can we trust her in a marriage? It actually makes us wonder if things go wrong. Will she lie or twist a story to keep the blame off of herself? Will she sabotage our future by weaponizing the legal system or blocking access to our children? The risk ain't worth it. So what do? We leave. Not because we don't care, but because we can't fix someone who refuses to humble themselves.
Why do modern women struggle with accountability?
Because that would mean that they have to acknowledge that they don't bring value to the table. That would mean that they have to acknowledge that all they have to offer is beauty and intimacy. And that's unfortunate. A modern woman of 2024 is a woman that seeks attention and validation more than respect and authenticity. It is a woman who is entitled to whatever it is that people have around her. It is a woman that takes things for granted, is not appreciative, and kind of just has a high level of expectation with low level of give. You know, she's a taker, not a giver.
Let me be the one to say it, and I know you guys are going to come for me. Be nice. The reason why some women will stay stuck, and I mean like stuck for a long time with absolutely no movement, no improvement in their life, is because many women lack accountability. You are quick to point the finger. However, you are slow to look in the mirror. The person you see when you look in the mirror is the person that's going to save your ass every single time. You need to take accountability for your life. Take control. Stand in your power. When you point the finger and blame, you're giving away your power. When you can't be honest with yourself about your downfalls, if you mess up, acknowledge it. If you know you can do better, do better. And I get it, you know, past things and circumstances are a thing to consider, but let's not focus on that. Like, just don't make that part bigger than what it needs to be. Because regardless, if you're standing in your power, none of that matters. The past does not matter. Old circumstances do not matter. And that's because we're focusing on the now, like the right now. All you need to do is focus on doing your best. Show up for yourself, put your best foot forward, and never stop getting up. The more you take ownership of your actions, of your choices, and everything in between, your life will change so fast. Because do you know like how powerful that is? Like seriously. Like no, just think about it. Please.
Oh yeah.
Like seriously. You need to be ready to call yourself out before anyone else can. I think one of the worst things that you can do is to wait for someone else to call you out on your bullshit. You knew you were bullshitting, but you allowed that to be your standard. Don't do that. Hold yourself to a higher standard and also hold those around you to a higher standard. And just think about what's going to happen when you and your circle all have high standards. Like, there's nowhere to go but up. Anyways, if you're a woman and you are on the journey or on your way to leveling up and getting to the next level in your life, no matter what that looks like for you, make sure you go ahead and follow me. Also, click the link in my bio, check out some of the free resources that I have for you. And yeah, welcome to the fam, sis.
Because you guys all seem to, the way he's always seen, it was him, not me. You were in a relationship 5 years, you did nothing wrong. It was all him, not me, so on and so forth, and that's cool. I want you ladies to understand that we as men, every time we meet one of you, it is always almost 100% of you, your exes are pieces that are just not good. I have never, ever in my life met a woman who said it was me. Men, in the comment section when this video is over, how many men met a woman who said out of her mouth, first off the rip, I was the reason this is a problem? If that's the truth, write 362 in the comment section. If you had a woman that said right out of her mouth, it was me, write 362. Man, I got no dog in this fight. I'm telling you what I hear. Is it hard to listen to?
No, it's not.
So if a man asks you how your relationship ends, because I'm gonna ask you a simple question. How do you think your ex experienced dating you? If you asked him who said you for dating you was blank.
It was how it was dating me. Interesting, I guess. I mean, I have my flaws. I'm spoiled.
Well, but 5 minutes ago you said you didn't do anything.
But
now you said it was just
I didn't do anything to like. I didn't do anything that was like, she's I don't know, cheating or she's
right. So you never hurt him. So you never hurt him. You didn't hurt him at all, right?
I don't think so. I can ask him.
Okay. No. So in 5 years you never hurt him. He only hurt you.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, he felt insecure. That's like his thing. You know, I don't think I gave him reasons to feel
self-awareness. Well, I think it's rather interesting that you say we all got our things, but in 5 years, you never hurt him, and he only hurt you. Okay. Would you say you have healthy self-esteem?
Me?
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you marry the man you chose to have a child with?
He wasn't good enough for me.
Well, then okay. So what I need you to understand, on the open dating market, you come into the open dating market with a baby from a man you say wasn't good enough for you. To us, to men like myself, to men with good sense, that would say she is a poor judge of character because she gave a man the highest honor a woman can give any man on the planet, a child. And then she gave a man who wasn't good enough for her a baby. Sorry, ma'am. Don't get upset because
I agree with that.
But if you agree with it, then understand
I agree
there's
with
a
that
reason.
part, but I also want to say that I'm allowed to make judgments in my life because
you are. But you are. Stop. No, yeah, you are. But we don't have. But understand. So listen. You are, but the world does not owe you understand. A high value woman is attractive.
You ever notice how men never say that I'm allowed to make mistakes? We know as men that we make mistakes. But the one thing that we as men know, each step that we make, pros and cons, ups, downs, ins, outs, all have results and repercussions. I have not seen a man say, well, I should be allowed to make mistakes, or mistakes are a part of life, so I should just be able, you should understand why I make mistakes. Men don't talk like that. I don't even hear Pookie and Ray Ray talk like that. Men know that there are going to be results if I make good judgment or bad judgments. There are repercussions if I keep making bad judgments. Men have no problem with accepting that. I don't know why it's so hard for women to accept the fact that there are results and repercussions for our actions. I don't know why women is so hard for them to accept. And they always want to say, well, I was young or I was inexperienced, blah, 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 as if males were never young. Yes, we are able or allowed to, the grace to make mistakes of the learning curves of life. Yes, we all are in this life always learn on learner mode. But that doesn't mean just because I'm on learner mode, let me go out here and have 5 kids and have three or four diseases. Hey, it's not my fault. I was learning through life. That's why I got 5 diseases and 5 kids. That just gets me. I never understood why women do that. I never understood that. Shout out to you once again, Ronan, man. I know that first month in the Philippines flew by. I know you were looking like, I got to get a visa. Another one? I know if I told you guys that first year in your new country is going to fly by. Your last year in your old country will go by fast, and your first year of getting settled and established and all those things. And I love the pictures with you and your girl, man. Beautiful couple. And that first year in your new country flies by, dude. He said, Dre said that there isn't a country that you're going to that you can't chop it up with someone. Yep. Someone from that country that can put you onto some game before you leave. Yes, sir. Shout out to Rico being in the building. Yes, sir. Rico said, ain't women supposed to be the mature faster than women? Faster than us? Sometimes I can't tell. I'm just like you guys. Sometimes I can't tell. He say funny is that they body they choose, but it's not their fault. Yeah, they want body choices. They want it's my body, my choice. But when it comes to the repercussions of my body, my choice, it's not their fault. When something hits the fan and that affects them. My body, my choice, cool, ladies. But then the repercussions or results come. I was young. Give me some grace. You being too hard. Everybody makes mistakes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To Ronan, man. Shout out to Ronan. Let's get back to the video, gentlemen.
And appealing. She has a comforting character. She's discerning and disciplined. She's enthusiastic and exuberant. She's loyal and liberating. That's the definition of a high value woman. But let me give you the definition of a low value woman. If you do these 4 things, you are a low value woman in most men's eyes. The first one, she operates a lot in shame. What is shame? Shame, noun, a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by consciousness wrong or foolish behavior. A low value woman uses these 4 things to control, manipulate, dominate, get her way, check people, whatever you want to start off. And her first thing is shame. When women come to my channel, here's a shaming tactic. They use shaming tactics. Yo mama black. You hate women. That's the number 1. That's the S in the sign. Another sign of a low value woman is she often insults. To speak or treat with disrespect or scornful abuse. You gay. You got a little pee-pee. You ugly. You this, you that. Insults. When they're losing an argument or can't stand on the merits of the argument, they want to come out with an insult. In debate, it's called an ad hominem, against the man. The first person to get off the topic and start making personal insults is the one that loses. All right, next thing, let's go with the G. The G is guilt. Guilt. Making someone feel guilty, especially in order to induce them to do something. Guilt, a manipulation. Shame, insults, and guilt are ways to manipulate, control, exert power. And it's not done in a physical way, it's done in an emotional way. The last sign that a woman may be low value is this one. The incessant need to be right. The need to be right is often a mask for insecurity. The person is concerned how others perceive them, and if they're wrong or they felt like they're not meeting whatever expectations, they will force themselves to be right. People who need to be right tend to be masking insecurity.
It is a black woman's issue. It is.
So why do black men need to fix it? We're not even, first of all, we don't want y'all the way you are. We've been telling you all my life. Y'all ain't listening to what we say, so we just lift you to your own devices. And no one's taking you this way. The problem is black women. lack accountability for their choices. You're a free person. You can make your choices, and you are free to win, you're free to lose, you're free to fail, or free to succeed. Yet what you're doing is not working with any group of men. No group of men is rushing to say, ooh, I need to get a black woman. But black men, even being at the bottom socioeconomically, well, above Hispanic men, black boys reading at the 4th grade level, black men aren't doing well, but they're the second most desired male on the planet behind white men.
And why do you think that is?
Because we got our together. Because we understand our real place. The world tells black men, you ain't good enough where you gotta work. You haven't been told you gotta work. You've been told you're a queen, you're good, you ain't gotta do nothing. To where, honestly, man, I want you to find me many 5 feet tall Chinese women who weigh as much as you do.
That's a different culture. They don't.
No, it's not. It's a different culture, but I want you to go back in your family album to the 1910s, and I want you to find me women who weighed as much as you do.
He ain't even got to go back that far. He ain't even got to go back to 1910. All he got to do, if Kevin was around, he could have just came with us and watched all these old school movies from the 70s and the 80s. Have we not been watching everything from Foxy Brown, Rudy Ray Moore, what's the other ones we've been watching? Richard Pryor movies, Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby movies. What is the one thing that we all have been noticing in common between the women of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s? What is it that in every movie we watch, it's like maybe 1 or 2 for comic, type of setting? From Cooley High, we just watched this weekend, big women in each movie. The average woman in the 70s, the average woman in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s were well built in the black community. This obesity rate has just happened over the last 20 years. It was not the norm in the black community. We're watching all these movies, and that's what each one of us are. Every Saturday, we're looking at Shaft. We got House Party coming up. That came out in the late 80s. I mean, not the late 80s, but the 90s. We got House Party coming up. Black women on average in college were not big women. We're not big women at all. The movie School Days, black women were not big women. They're trying to sell us as if all these big ass women we're seeing walking around with these bonnets on and these big long eyelashes, that was the norm in the black community. No, it wasn't. These people weren't like, let's pick all skinny women for our movie. No, these were just background actors or people just walking down the street in the background of every one of these movies we're seeing in the 70s. We see Jim Kelly, and we just finished watching a couple weeks, 3 the Hard Way. We're looking at the black community in Chicago and New York and watching the people in the background just walking by. Ain't no big chicks. That was not the norm in the black community. So those of you that think big chicks that you see over the last 15 to 20 years, that's the norm. It has not always been. Throughout human history, black people have not been known for being obese and overweight. That is not our thing. That's in recent years. Whether you be on the continent of Africa or whether you be here, there's a few countries in Africa that accept obesity. But most of the continent of Africa wasn't no big sisters. They might have had big behinds, but they weren't no big women. It's crazy how we sit back and we're looking at these movies and see all these beautiful sisters. Shout out to Chaos Reigns in the building. He said for the last 27 years when black women started, it started to get fat. Yep. Yeah, we just watched Superfly. No big chicks. No big chicks in Superfly. We watched The Mac. Wasn't no big chicks. Wasn't no big chicks in the movie in the background. Wasn't no big chicks when they had the club scene when it first opened up. Wasn't no big chicks in any of the actresses. No big chicks. They'll have like 1 or 2 big chicks just for the comic relief part, Like in Cooley High, the lady that ran the little restaurant that the kids would hang out in, she had the little butcher knife. That was for the comic effect. They would have a big chick in there. But you ain't, man, come on, man. Y'all gonna quit trying to sell me on the thinking that as all throughout human history, the chicks that we with now, that's the norm. That is not the norm. I'm talking about throughout human history. That, you know, I like history. I'm talking about throughout history. All the way back to our time in Egypt, Babylon, Mesopotamia, all those eras, man. We wasn't known as no big ass people. And they, yep, he said they want look like a statue in Times in New York. Yep. Let's get back to the video. It's just sad, man.
At your height. We don't weigh this much. You can go to Soul Train in 1970 and see what y'all used to look like.
You ain't got to go back that far.
But I understand what you're saying.
And they
you can't make it up. See?
They all say I don't look my weight because they compare themselves to other big chicks. That's why they don't take accountability in the States or in Canada and UK. If I, as a big dude, compare myself to other bigger dudes, I don't feel like such a big dude, do I? If I compare myself to bigger dudes, you think, oh man, I got to go to the gym today. He do, but I don't. No, we do. But with women, they always compare themselves. This is the funny part. They'll criticize a woman that is very healthy, she's fit, but they'll compare themselves to unhealthy women. They'll criticize the attractive, very perfectly curvaceous, fit woman, but they'll compare themselves to the big girl. I'm not as bad. I don't look like her. I know I need something to work on, but I don't look like her. You ever notice that? Compare themselves to the big one, but they don't compare themselves to the fit women, and they don't criticize the big women. What do they say if you criticize a big woman? That's fat shaming. That's body shaming. So they don't criticize the big woman because they need the big woman to feel good about themselves. But they never encourage or compare themselves to the fit women. He said back in the day, grandma and older could be fat. Right, grandma and them, facts. He said we knew it came from burning on the stove. Absolutely correct. She earned it. Absolutely correct. From cooking all the time. She'll be nibbling and cooking. Nibbling and cooking. I remember my auntie said, I put on my weight because I was always nibbling while I'm cooking. So I understood what grandma and auntie and all them back in the day, when they put on weight, these chicks ain't even cooking and they fat as hell. How you ain't cooking, but you bigger than everybody's grandma and you only 24? Man, listen.
This is what Shahrazad Ali has been saying. Black women have been shielded from the consequences, accountability, and everything else. It's a different culture. It's this and that. Your body is not meant to be your weight at your height. That's why you are fat where you shouldn't be.
Women, please explain. I do. Y'all say we not smart. Y'all say we not smooth. So how do these that's not smart, not smooth, not keep finessing you? How?
Come on, man. I'm gonna bring that beat back. I'm gonna let that one sink in right there.
Your weight at your height. That's why you are fat where you shouldn't be.
Women, please explain. I do. Y'all say we not smart. Y'all say we not smooth. So how do these that's not smart, not smooth, not keep finessing you? How? If it's not you, how do that's not smart? How do that don't do, don't
they keep getting over on them because they projecting. Let me just put that out there right now. And it's not enough. You feel what I'm saying? Because they not smart. They not smooth. They don't have things going on for themselves. So instead of taking accountability for what they have going on in life, they rather project that onto the man. Now, ma'am, because of the woman that you are, you attracted this man in your life. You feel what I'm saying? Because you value riches and fame and glory. You know what I'm saying? And you not rich or famous or glorious at all. You attracted the total opposite because you attract what you are. You know what I'm saying? Because of your vibe, you attract that tribe. On God, understand that. Be real with yourself, ladies.
Okay, do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
You have a son?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so your son makes something of himself. He becomes an attorney, a well-regarded attorney, 35 years old. You want him? You think that he should bring home a woman with 3 kids by 2 different dudes?
I think he should bring home a woman who he loves.
No. See, you didn't answer. No. See,
yes,
I didn't even get the fucking question out of my mouth before you decide. See, you know what? I'll let you go ahead. You think he should do what?
I think he should bring home whoever he please, whoever he's happy with.
Right.
Just because a woman doesn't have a kid doesn't mean that you're going to be happy with her.
Ma'am, where's your husband?
I've turned down 2 proposals because, oh
How
my God,
many
I don't
children
even want
do
to
you
go there.
have? How many children do you have?
I have 1 child.
Okay, why are you so upset that I'm telling the reality that men want? Men don't want women who have children by other men, especially productive, competitive. Excuse me, especially productive, competitive, successful men. Higher value men choose overwhelmingly to start their own families. See, what you have a problem with, man, is men finally saying what men have always thought. If you don't want the downsides or consequences that come along with being a single mother, get married before you have a baby.
I appreciate the truth and the honesty.
Then what's the problem? But what's the problem with saying?
I just don't feel like that's
feelings, man. What's the problem with telling? You cannot overtalk me. You cannot overtalk me. You cannot do that. Calm down and just respond. You can unmute yourself, but you can't overtalk me. See, this is another reason dealing with women with children. You get overly emotional because your children are important to you, but they're important to you, not us. You can unmute yourself.
Wow, that is not true. You're one-sided.
Excuse me. No. Your children are important to you. They're not important to us. It's like my child is important to me.
High-value man.
Excuse me, ma'am. Your child is important to you. It's not important to us. And here's the real question.
Who is us? Who is us?
Other men out here, the public. Not
consider yourself a high
Excuse me,
value
man. No, this ain't about me, ma'am. Why didn't you marry the man you chose to have a child with?
He wasn't good enough for me.
Well, then okay. So what I need you to understand, on the open dating market, you come into the open dating market with a baby from a man you say wasn't good enough for you. To us, to men like myself, to men with good sense, that would says she is a poor judge of character because she gave a man the highest honor a woman can give any man on the planet, a child. And then she gave a man who wasn't good enough for her a baby. Sorry, ma'am. Don't get upset because
I agree with that.
But if you agree with it, then understand
I agree
there's
with
a
that
reason.
part, but I also want to say that I'm allowed to make poor judgments in my life because
you are. But you are. Stop. No, yeah, you are. But we don't have to. But understand something. Listen. You are, but the world does not owe you understanding. You're allowed to make.
They
poor
don't.
But guess what? We are going to judge.
The world does it too.
Ma'am,
we all do it.
If you don't sit your emotional self down, lady, I'm sorry. The world is not going to continue. The world ain't going to continue to. First of all, your child is your least of your problems. And this is the kind of bullshit that goes on too often with women, black women in particular.
Kevin, I know.
Think because you can get your ass up here and be emotional and talk loud, is going to overcome the fact that you made a baby with a dude that you say ain't good enough. That's your problem. The world does not owe you understanding. And you sound like you need a whole lot of damn therapy because you're far too angry about some shit you chose to do. If you're a baby mama, more men are starting to look at it this way. You are not a baby mama. You are a broken family. And you need to go back to your baby daddy, ex-boyfriend, whatever he is, and work your problems out and put your family back together. That is honestly your best bet. And if that's untenable, then you got to understand that men are saying, why'd you have the kid then? If you didn't want to be with him, why'd you have the babies? That's what most men are thinking. Now, let's say you're just super cute, super fine, smoking body, whatever. You will more than likely, let me just take that off. You're still going to be permanent side chick status. The only way you're going to actually get a ring and a wedding ceremony is if you are a solid 9 in the face, 8, 9, 10 in the body, and your situation is appealing.
I like what Ronan said. He said they want us to save them from their mistakes, but blame us for those mistakes and poor decisions.
I know you see athletes and entertainers wifing up. That doesn't work in the everyday world because Henry has colleagues. Henry has fraternity brothers. He has a family. He has all these people who he has to deal with in his community. He has the homeowners association, and he's got to bring you into his life, and he has to explain this to them.
I've been with my husband since I was 21. And from a woman's perspective, ladies, I just want to say he's not lying to you. And I sit and I ask my husband long before even hearing about you, very gruesome and personal questions. And I'm very honest with myself about what I need to change about myself or what do you like about this? And so listening to you, I'm like, maybe I just think like a guy, or is Kevin just not all that wrong and more right? But it's women don't want to hear a man telling them.
We're not used to seeing black men in a position of respect, responsibility, and being right. The things I say are controversial more so because I'm a black man. Versus if they were like some of the things, if I were Dr. Phil or Joe Rogan or somebody else, would be more easily acceptable than coming from me. And I can't change that. But the fact of the matter is we need to be able to change that because it needs to become more commonplace to where our women can see our men on the same level as they see anybody else.
It'd just be great to have somebody to talk to. It feels like I don't have anybody to vent to, no open ears. You know, that's why I want a woman, somebody to confide.
No. Oh, Joe, see, okay, I'm about to take my belt off. I'm about to whoop your ass now.
Please tear me apart, man.
Every woman is not your mother. Your mother is the only woman you can talk to and vent to because she had you, she bore you. These other women don't owe you the love a mother owes you. Their love is conditional, and it should be. Women have hypergamy. Understand something. That fairy tale, that's why you're imbalanced, because you didn't have a dad and a mother. You want to talk to your friends. You need a mentor
Tori, so do I.
and a coach because daddy ain't there. But you don't talk to your woman. You want to lose a good woman? Go and talk to her about your problems. Go talk to her about shit that's going on. She'll be your best friend by Saturday. Man, you better come on in. You want to keep a relationship going? You stay in the masculine role. You let your woman stay in the feminine role. She gets to vent and download to you. You go talk to the goddamn tree.
Preach.
You only cry in front of your woman when an immediate family member dies or when you break both arms. Man, the up. Get off this Disney rom-com bullshit. That's what has most of us single mother raised boys, the blue pill beta male soy boys. They ain't got the nerve to be mad at women because we Nope. Become the man of your dreams before you find the woman of yours.
Damn. Let's not let that slide by. Kevin said, first, you become the man of your dreams before you go looking for the woman of your dreams. Man, that man has so much to share, man. Yeah, 2019, he was at 50K. First, become the man of your dreams before you go looking for the woman of your dreams. First, become the man of your dreams before you go looking for the woman of your dreams. If y'all think I'm gonna let that line sink, no, I'm gonna bite that one. No Diddy. Take that. First, become the man of your dreams before you go looking for the woman in any country of your dreams. As I said, there's an epidemic going on around the world right now, and that is women just shunned or afraid or scared. I don't know what it is when it comes to accountability. It is right in that we've been watching for the last couple of hours. Women have the truth right in their faces, like a hand, and they will sit there and act like that hand is not there. They will talk about everything else under the sun, and we just watched it back to back, and these women just do not want to take accountability. They just don't want to take accountability. Before we go, we're going to take a few minutes to check out what Alvin Preach had to say regarding the Diddy trial.
All day for the defense. Trafficking, all these other crimes, a little bit harder.
I'm going to pull this video down. We're going to get started. It's only a few minutes, but they give a great discussion about what's going on with the Diddy trial. I told y'all it was going to be a snitch-a-thon. I told y'all everybody going to snitch. Everybody's going to snitch. For two reasons. The two reasons everybody's going to snitch in the Diddy trial is this. Seriously. To either kind of keep from going to jail or lower their jail time. See, you can't have racketeering by yourself, right? He's being charged with racketeering. You can't have conspiracy by yourself, right? So there's so many of the crimes that they're trying to charge him with, money laundering, so forth and so forth. None of these things could take place by yourself. So the people in which he has been involved in with these issues are coming straight out snitching. They either don't want to go to jail or don't want to go to jail long. They either don't want to go to jail or they don't want to go to jail for long. Same thing with Jeffrey Epstein. All them people that we saw in Jeffrey Epstein house, President Trump with little teenage chicks, allegedly, but we saw it on the photos. President Clinton, allegedly, but we saw it on the photos. In and out of Epstein's house with these young 14, 15-year-old girls, right? But when it was time for him to go to court, all these politicians act like they never met that man a day in his life. They act like they never saw him a day in his life. Yeah, man, they yeah. Because his attorneys, bruh, and you're 100% correct. But take it from a dude that was in the feds, man, them attorneys be lying to you so they can milk you for more money. I'm gonna tell you something. Man, your attorneys ain't. When it comes to the feds, 98% conviction rate. What can your attorneys do with that? You can have that's like you going to the Super Bowl. You about to play in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady had just won the last 12 Super Bowls. He feeling healthier than ever, broke all the records for that year in the NFL. You know, statistically, you ain't got a snowball's chance in hell unless you Eli Manning, right? That's how it is to be an attorney going against the federal government. As if Tom Brady has won all 50 plus Super Bowls, ain't never lost one. Ain't never lost a Super Bowl. I've seen that so many times, dudes, when dudes be taking it to the, I'm taking it to court, dog. They ain't got nothing on me. You know why I took it to court? Y'all want the truth? Why I took it to court? You ready? I was young and stupid. I ain't know no better. It's rare when we men get a chance to say that. If I had known about the 98% conviction rate, I'd have took the little 2-3 year plea bargain they gave me too. Hey Dre, you gonna looking at 3 years. 3 years, I ain't done nothing. Take it to court. I ain't knowing about no 98% conviction rate. I take it to court, I get 10 years. I could have did 2 or 3 years. I ain't know. But hindsight is 20/20. So I can tell you about all the people, what they're doing right now. His attorneys know Diddy's money is gone. Right now, Diddy is worth $500,000, right? I mean, half $1 billion. They know between the feds getting as much of that money as possible and court fines and court fees getting as much money as possible. Those attorneys are trying to get as much as they can as well. It's everybody out to drain that brother, man. Ain't nobody got his back. Only person got his back is God. Don't nobody got that dude back. Nobody. He is globally public enemy number one. His attorneys could do anything you see his attorneys say, don't believe it. Anything that goes on in court, don't believe it. Take it from me. I've seen it too many. I've seen a Diddy situation too many times. The attorneys look at the guy like he's going to jail, so let's get as much money from him before he goes to jail. That's the logic of the attorneys. I kid you not. If you think the attorney's trying to get them off and be like, I'm the first one to beat somebody in a 98% conviction, the feds, I'm the first attorney to beat them in the last 20 years. Most attorneys know they ain't got a snowball chance in hell to keep Diddy out of jail, but they don't tell Diddy that. Why do you think they told Diddy to turn himself in? Because if he'd have went on a run like he should have done and went somewhere where he couldn't be extradited, who wouldn't have made money? The attorneys. How much money do attorneys make today in the States off of Russell Simmons' federal case? Off of Russell Simmons' state case. How much money are attorneys making today that we know of? Not a damn dime. Why? Because Russ ain't in the States. He in Bali, living his best life. So the attorneys know if we tell Diddy, bruh, you ain't got a chance, bruh, you might as well leave. Who don't make any money if they tell Diddy go to Bali? Who doesn't make any money? The attorneys. The attorneys are so dirty. Shout out to the lead. Shout out to Dennis Sperling. But attorneys are so dirty, man. They know that you going to jail. They know that you're gonna be there for a long time. They know that the feds got a 98%. I bet you this, bet this. I bet you Diddy don't know that the feds got a 98% conviction rate. I bet that. I bet 500 if one of us could visit Diddy in jail. Diddy, tell us what the conviction rate is for the feds. I don't know. Take that. 98% conviction rate. When we say that the feds don't waste no ink, when they print out that indictment and that ink is fresh, they don't waste no ink on the printer ink. They don't waste no ink, dog. That's why when Angry Man and a lot of other dudes, Diddy got too much on other people. He ain't going to jail. They gonna set him free. Dude, Diddy going to jail. Now, if Trump let him out, might happen. But for the most part, Diddy going to jail, dog. You know how many politicians that I met in the Fed that had dirt on dudes? You know how many prominent pastors that I met in the Feds that had dirt on dudes? You know how many major drug dealers that I met in the Fed that had dirt on dudes? That having dirt on other people, they ain't gonna keep you out of jail. That might lower your sentence, but take it from a dude that was in the Feds. That's all it's gonna do, lower your sentence, dog. That's all it's gonna do. Diddy going to jail, man. He should have been gone, dog. For in all sincerity, his attorney set him up and still setting him up. My man E-Man says Trump ain't pardoning him. Trump then already took out the Tuskegee Airmen out of curriculum in the military. Trump looking out for white folks. Trump wanted to show y'all how black folks should do it. If you want to learn, black people, y'all ready? If y'all want to learn anything on how to look out for your people, look at the playbook of Donald Trump for the next 4 years. He don't care about nobody if you ain't white. He letting y'all know this is white country. We doing it white, not right. This man could care less about doing it right. I like how one white dude said, he said, y'all see Trump just took out the Tuskegee Airmen out of the curriculum in the military, in the Air Force. Just wiped those dudes away as if they didn't exist. Just this past week. He said, well, y'all want to criticize the Democrats? I ain't see the Democrats do nothing like that to you. And this was a white dude. He said, the Democrats might not be perfect, but I ain't never seen them do that to you. Let's go ahead and listen to what these brothers have to say in regards to the Diddy case. They're going to read from the transcripts.
Records, and they got Diddy dead to rights when it comes to bribery and extortion. That something like this could ruin him. He wanted the video. He said if it got out, it would ruin his career. Mr. Gomes put the cash through the money counter. There were stacks of $10,000 at the time. The machine
$100,000
displayed at the end $100,000. Rico, which is racketeering,
and also what my mom used to call me.
Que rico. Wait, no, I've heard that in a porn somewhere. That's weird.
God damn.
The RICO Act is basically a law that they put in place to be able to combat criminal organizations like the mafia and different criminal gangs. Sean Combs is charged with leading a criminal enterprise involving employees and business entities under his control to engage in a wide range of criminal activity, including trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, bribery, arson, obstruction of justice, and narcotic.
Look at this, man. Sex trafficking, he in trouble. Anytime you bring one woman anytime you bring women from one state to another state, it becomes feds. If it happens within the same state, it's state. I'm gonna say this again. If it happens, if you do pay for play in the same state, and that state says it's illegal, you gonna get arrested or get a fine or whatever it is in that state. The moment that you fly pay for play, and that means all you do is like to fly chicks out, that includes y'all too. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. That includes y'all too. All you do is like to fly a chick out and then you doing pay for play, she could easily come back on you with that X trafficking. That's true. Dude, you know how many pimps I met in the joint, dog? In the feds? In the feds. Y'all think pimp would be state time, right? Like if you get caught in Oklahoma, you going to jail in Oklahoma. If you get caught in LA, you going to jail in LA. Nope. If you are a pimp and you are bringing your ladies from the Super Bowl in Miami and then you flying them to the NBA All-Star game in Las Vegas, that is federal because you took them over state lines. Forced labor, meaning making people work hours or for wages that were not fair. Yeah, so if you get pay for play in one city and you drive her over, if you buy you a pay for play in Ohio and you drive her to Pennsylvania, that's federal time. Just for driving her over the state lines, that's federal time. Absolutely. That's why I met so many pimps in the feds, because they were bringing their women over the state lines. They were flying their women from here to there to here, and they ended up doing fed time. Kidnapping, well, we understand that one already. Bribery, we're already going to hear about that also. Arson, remember he tried to blow the one kid car up. Obstruction of justice by hiding evidence. And then the narcotics distribution. Remember the white boy that they arrested with him at the airport? Diddy wasn't the one that got arrested alone. Remember, it was the white boy that was already being charged for federal narcotics crimes already, that was with Diddy. We keep forgetting about the white boy that got locked up with Diddy. We keep on thinking about how Diddy was at the airport. He was not at the airport by himself. The white dude that had federal narcotics charges pending was with Diddy too.
Distribution. So anyways, today they get the bribery down. The reason why is they called in the hotel staff and the hotel security, Cassie tape, right? The one who went upstairs and stopped the whole thing from happening. So they brought this guy in. He didn't want to testify. He pleads the fifth. So obviously they give him immunity, so he can't plead the fifth. I don't know what pleading the fifth is. It's when you basically invoke your right, which is like the Fifth Amendment in the Constitution says that, you know, you have the right to not incriminate yourself in any kind of court proceeding, right? So you invoke the fifth, that stops you from testifying. The prosecution wants him to testify, so they give him immunity, so there's no chance he can be charged. So now he has to testify. But that immunity does not count against perjury, meaning you cannot go on the stand and lie. He gets on the stand because not only does it implicate Diddy, but it implicates his employees. And remember, we're talking about a criminal enterprise. Was Diddy part or head of an organization in which multiple people were engaged in crimes in furtherance of said enterprise? And I think one misinterpretation that people have is they think like RICO only has to be about making money. It's not. Sometimes it could be a way to further set crimes. So let's say if Diddy's really obsessed with, you know, specific set of crimes that he likes to commit, he wants to get away with. If an organization is colluding together, like multiple people are colluding together to help them make those crimes happen, even if it's not for financial gain, it could still be considered RICO. So AUSA is the person, basically it's the state. March 10th, 2016, which is the time where the attack on Cassie happened on camera. Where did you work on the day in question? The Intercontinental Hotel. I was told there was an incident involving Sean Combs. Did you see him there? Why was law enforcement not called? Garcia says Miss Ventura did not request it. AUSA says, did you review the incident report? Yes, there was an attachment that I didn't open on the computer, a video file. Did you receive a call? Yes. From who? Christina Coram with the New York area code. She asked if I had the video. Christina Coram is the one that a lot of people have been talking about. It's Diddy's like top assistant. She allegedly took care of a lot of the dirty business for him behind the scenes in terms of silencing other employees, paying people off, all these different things. So now her name is being referenced, really important, because very, very likely she's going to testify. I'm suspecting that because she's the closest to Diddy, she's the one who's going to be flipped, and then that's really going to fuck him. But let's keep listening. What does she ask for? The video. She said Mr. Combs had been intoxicated and didn't remember exactly. What do you tell Ms. Coram? That she would have to talk to management. Did she reach out again? Yes, I got a call from Diddy the lobby. I got a call from the lobby. Diddy the lobby sounds crazy. I got a call from lobby.
6 in the morning, in the morning.
What did she ask for? The video. How did you respond? That she had to talk to management or file subpoena? Did you tell her that you saw what you saw in the video? Yes, I told her off the record it's bad. Did you get another call? Yes, from a New York area code. It was Mr. Coram. She put someone else on the phone. Who? Mr. Combs. He asked, do you know who I am? What is
So now he's reading the transcripts from the guy that was the head of security that day when Diddy beat down Cassie, allegedly, right? The video that we saw. So first he had his assistant reach out to her. Now he's reaching out to you. Do you know who this is? The diddler. And now they're about to negotiate the money.
What did you say? Yes, you're the diddler. He asked for the video. He said he'd been intoxicated. I told him I can't give him the video. How did he sound? He was talking fast, stuttering. He sounded nervous. Did you email management? Yes. The email I sent. Why is this important? Because beyond this man just testifying about the fact that he received a bribery, he has corroboration about the requests from them about that video. Again, remember this video didn't come out till years later.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So Diddy's team hears there's an email. They go objection. The judge goes overruled.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to hear this shit, bitch.
Email as shown has Combs' phone number on it, not redacted. It says Combs, aka P. Diddy, says he is a patron and wants to talk to you. Did you get more calls from Miss Combs? Yes, on my personal number. Ooh. Hey, man, Miss Combs get a little freaky for Diddy. How did you react? Nervous. Miss Combs passed the phone to Mr. Combs again. What did he say? That I sounded like a good guy. That he could help. That something like this could ruin him. He wanted the video. He said if it got out, it would ruin his career. Garcia, I said I didn't have access to the server. He told me he believes I could make it happen. He would take care of me. What do you think he meant? Money for the video. What did you do? I reached out to my supervisor about it. Okay, want to take a little bribe under the table?
Yo, you want to split 50-50 on this Diddy shit? Because Renan E calling me on my personal phone. The thing that happened is that, listen, if you want in, we could split that. You should split that,
Right.
take that, and then we shut the fuck up about it. How about
So,
that?
who was your supervisor? Bill
So him
Medrano.
and the
He told me he would
supervisor.
do it for 50 and not cents.
Hey, 50 what?
Okay,
50 bands?
what do you think that meant? He'd give us 50,000. What did you do? Called Christina, who put Mr. Combs on. He called me Eddie, my angel. I'm sorry. There's like little details like that you're just like, this nigga's telling the truth. Mr. Combs told me I knew you could do it. Let's do it right
Call that
away.
man Eddie, my angel.
Objection, Your Honor. Pause. Sustained. Did he stop being gay? All right. He went into the server room. Then he handed me.
Okay. Oh, damn. Diddy's getting to you.
You know, I read this.
You're getting that Diddy fever.
Hey, listen. Then he handed me a black USB. What I read is then he handled me with a black
know, right?
USB.
God
and
damn.
said done. But anyways, then he handed me a black USB and said done. The video was in the USB. What did you do? Told Mr. Combs. Where did Mr. Combs want to meet? West LA. He said, let's get it done. He wanted the video as soon as possible. I told Bill. He told me to tell the others, and I was on an errand for him. So basically, his supervisor covered for him. They are getting paid. They're splitting it. What was the meeting point? A big high-rise building. I called the number and someone came, said he was Mr. Combs' bodyguard. How did he look? Older, African-American, heavy-set, 6'3" to 6'5". That is, if I remember, D-Rock. He's the man who's referenced a lot, went to jail for some time, ended up coming out becoming Puffy's bodyguard. But he was also implicated with Diddy. Biggie.
Oh.
Biggie, Diddy, with all these names. But it's important because I'm suspecting from everything that I've read that this man is either flipping on Diddy or he's a co-conspirator. My odds are he not wanting to go back to jail, so he gonna snitch on the man. But again, this guy was there for a lot of the crimes. He's allegedly the man who took Capricorn Clark, one of Diddy's assistants, brought her to a high rise, put her in a room, closed the door, and then she had to do a lie detector test for 5 days straight. And basically they're saying, if you don't pass this test, because they suspected she stole some jewelry, if you don't pass this test, we're going to throw you in the East River. Again, these are threats of violence. Really important stuff, because if he ends up corroborating what any of the testimony came from before, they got Diddy on him. RICO charges. Now, everyone who's part of the conspiracy, even if they didn't commit every crime, is going to jail if the DA is pressing charges against them. So it's in their best interest to flip. You're looking at 20 years. 20 years in federal prison. And federal prison is not like state prison or anything of the sorts, because you don't get parole.
You're flipping.
At best, you might get 15% of your sentence shaved
Nope.
if you have good behavior. That's at best. But generally speaking, this man is looking at 20 years in prison, and that's why they go.
You're gonna get that 15% shave just in general. This is how it works in the Fed. You do 87% of your time. So if you got 20 years, you're looking at 18.5. 18.5. My 10 years, I did 8.5. almost 9. And then I did 5 years paper. I had 5 years in the state time, but they ran those together. That's how the feds work. There is no good time in the feds. It's just that you do 85% of your time. So if Diddy gets 20, let's say Diddy gets 20, he's looking at 18.5 years. That's a long time, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This right, Meek. Whatever happened to the no snitching movement? Shout out to my man Chaos. Man, this gives me flashbacks, dog. I ain't gonna lie. That time that I did, them 10 years, man. That was a long time, bro. From 1989 to 1999. That was a long time. I'm sitting up here, you know, as this Diddy case is going on, I'm like, dang, this dude looking at 20 years. I'm looking at R. Kelly like, man, you dudes doing time. It's one thing you dudes who ain't never did a bit, ain't never been in jail. Shout out to you guys. It feels like you in jail so long you forgot what you in jail for. I swear, dog. You feel like, okay, I did my crime. Okay, I got past it. I've learned from it. I've become a better man. I'm not the man who I used to be. Cool. You still got 7 more years to go. That's how my situation was. I grew up. I matured. I became a better man. I accomplished things. And I still had 7 more years to go. That's how it is in the feds when you're in jail. You can become a completely better person and still have 3 more years to go, 10 more years to go. Man, I kid you not, man. I'm sitting back like, man, if this man lay down, you know, when you get locked up, they call it getting, you know, laying down because you've been laying down on that bunk. If they lay this man down for, let's just say for 20 years, man, all of 2025 to 2035 to 2040, this dude getting out like close to 2045, 43. Think about it, fellas. Let's put it in a year's perspective. This man is going to get out of prison in 2043. That's if you get 20. Damn. That's if he survive it. Man, Trump will be dead and gone, and this man will still be doing a bit. Dude, just imagine, I went in during the Clinton administration. I got out for, no, wait a minute, was during Clinton or Bush? Wait a minute. Who was president in 89? That's a good bit of trivia. Who was the president in 89? Who was the president? Let me ask ChatGPT. That's a good question. See how many presidents I went through when I was in jail, just to show you how long Diddy gonna be in jail. Let me ask ChatGPT. That is a long time, man. I thought my bit was long. Who was president of, oh, there we go. Who was president of the United States in 1989 and president of the United States in 1999? President George Bush. Served in January. So that was the first president. The Bush won. Gulf War. Yeah, you're right, Ronan. And I got out. President Clinton was president. Damn. Clinton was president. That goes you, Bush Senior. Yep, I went in with Bush Senior. That goes to show you how much time goes by. Man, I got family members, man. I went in, we were all teenagers, preteens. Some of them were preteens. Some of them were early 20s like me. Bruh, I came home, these people grown, married, 2 or 3 kids. Man, I went to my grandmother's 83rd birthday. I'll never forget this. I could easily say, 90% of the people at that celebration, I didn't know who the hell they were. If you weren't part of my generation, like my uncle, my cousins and them, they kids and they husbands and wives, and I don't know none of these people. I don't know none, dude. I'm walking in here, man. I could have been a total stranger walking up in there. And actually I was. That's why you never hear me kind of like, man, I'm gonna run and get back to see my family in Detroit. Man, I don't know them people. I love them all. But dude, time went by, a 10-year gap between the time period that I saw them, man. I'm probably cool, like really cool with talk to on a regular basis. Maybe 3-4 family members, that's it. That's of our generation. The kids got kids now. You know, I got cousins that got their grandfathers. Jeffrey, my uncle, granddads. Early 90s, all the 90s. I got a February 1st, 1999. February 1st. So I couldn't imagine what Diddy about to go through. If he get convicted this year, which he probably will, and if they give him a 20-year bit, he'll be getting out like 2043. 2043. We're almost towards the half-century mark by the time that dude get out. We will be almost at the half-century mark. Wow, man. Yeah, I've been having some flashbacks since this Diddy case.
What did he say? That he kind of came up with Mr. Combs, that he was a good guy and I was doing a good thing. Mr. Combs was smiling, called me Eddie, my angel. My voice was crackling, so I said I was coming down with something. Mr. Combs said Christina to go get me some of the tea that he liked, and then he asked me, do you have it? I said yes, and handed it to him.
Right.
What did he do? He left, came back, he asked if it was the only copy, and you said, I believe so. Mr. Combs said it had to be the only copy, nothing in the cloud. I called Mr. Medrano and he said it was the only copy. He took it off the server. What else did you say? That if Cassie filed a complaint, I could only get in trouble. Garcia, Mr. Combs said, don't worry, Cassie wanted it gone too. He called her on FaceTime and showed me. She was in a hoodie, but I recognized her. What did Ventura say? That she had a movie coming out and wanted this to not come out. He wanted my ID and that Mr. Medrano and the responding officer, Mr. Flores, but he was a very straight guy and probably wouldn't do it. I told Bill. What did Medrano say? We'd get Henry Elias, the other responding officer.
Yep.
Back to what I was saying.
Yep.
So when it comes to this case, the fact that they have so many witnesses, big donk for the prosecution. I got Sam. Okay, this is why it's important. Okay, come back.
Lock him up through the.
Mr. Combs saw the IDs. He looked at Henry and said, "Yeah, that's him." Then he brought out the NDAs that I wouldn't speak about it. Do you recognize this? Yes, it states I provide the only copy of the video. Did you read it? No, I was serious. No, I was nervous. And were you given a copy? No. And the NDA, what were the liquidated damages? $1 million. Meaning, if you violated the NDA, he would have to pay a penalty of $1 million. How much were you making? $10.50 an hour. Then what? Mr. Combs put the cash through the money counter. There were stacks of $10,000 at the time. The machine displayed at the end $100,000. Why the additional $50,000 for me and what he thought was Israel Flores? How did Mr. Combs give you the $100,000 in a brown paper bag? Was the bodyguard there? Yes. It was Mrs. Quorum present? Yes. You see why they're asking this question? They're putting these two individuals at the scenes of the crime. Yep. Why? Because they're fucking flipping.
Yep.
And if I work for Diddy and I'm looking at 20 years, I'm flipping too. They are flipping. Mark my words. I told you motherfuckers, he's going to jail. I just don't know how long. I'm certain these bitches is flipping.
Yeah, they are.
Mr. Combs escorted me to my car. He asked how I'd spend it. He said not to make any big purchases. What did you do? Called Bill Medrano, gave him $50. How much to Mr. Elias? $20. What did you do with your 30? Bought a used car with cash. So he did. Paid his.
Did he not say do not go out and make big purchases? Did he not just say that? So here you go, paying with a job that pays you only $10.25 an hour. Here you go, dropping $30,000 on a used car. Stop the cap. $30,000 on a used car. He just told him, do not make any big purchases. Only big purchase I would have made, y'all ready? I would have purchased a passport and got the hell out of Dodge with $100K. For real. For real. I would have been the one on the beach walking up to Russell Simmons on the beach in Bali. I'd have been walking up on Russell. Hey, Russell, I got $100K. Who are you? I'm the dude that Diddy just paid off, man. I'd have been on the beaches in Bali. Ain't no way in hell out there to caught me in court. And the best I did was I bought a car for $30,000, a used car. Man, y'all some suckers in the States. I didn't realize how simple-minded y'all were. You could do anything with your life. You'd have been better off putting that money in crypto and keeping your mouth shut. I'd have threw that $100K in crypto and wouldn't have said a word. I'd have been reaching out to Los and all the crypto, the blockchain brothers on WhatsApp. Hey, dog, don't say nothing, but I just got $100,000 from Daddy. What should I, allegedly, what should I do, my blockchain brothers? I'd have did a live stream on crypto for like a week, asking all type of advice. Why do you ask, Andre? Just asking. I'd have had that money hidden in crypto so fast. There is no way. I was about to spend $30,000 on a used car. I bought a used car so I can flex for some raggedy ass American chicks. Cause I usually make $10.25 an hour. Man, that my biggest expense would have been my passport. And he gave $50,000 to his boss. Man, my boss wouldn't have got none of that.
Manager 50 took 30, which I will say, this is a good man.
Yes.
You want to know why he's a good man?
Because I would have taken that.
Because he told his manager that I got an extra 50. Oh, nigga, if it's me and I'm being crooked, I would never take the bribe personally. But if it was, I wouldn't. Not for that. I wouldn't take it for that.
I don't think you would.
No, I wouldn't.
I don't think you would.
Like, there's certain things I'm very capable of. I'd admit it. That's not one of them.
I know.
But he had an extra 50, told the manager the truth, and gave the money to the cop.
Which, you know what the thing is? It's actually good.
Why?
Because that proves that he's in his disloyalty loyal.
Yeah.
In the way that he's in his crookedness.
Yeah.
He's actually stands on his word.
To a degree. I think
to a degree.
Did you hear from Mr. Combs again? Yes, he called me and told me Happy Easter if I ever.
100,000 Bitcoin, Diddy. 100,000 crypto, Diddy. You wouldn't have caught me with no cash.
Needed anything. Hey, did you ever reach out to him later? Yes, a few years later via Instagram. I asked if there was work in LA. I never heard back. The little thing was like Happy Easter. People think that's insignificant, but when you run a criminal organization and when you're engaged in this kind of stuff, you're constantly paranoid. You're constantly thinking of where are my weaknesses. And what you do is you message people, you look into little things to put out feelers to feel if there's anything that's suspicious or off. So why would he ever send this man many years later a Happy Easter? It's probably he's feeling nervousness about the shit that he's done. And he starts messaging random people.
Yeah, because you think back on it. Especially when the anniversary of whatever the hell you did comes up. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh shit, I did help that dude and he did. Let me
make sure we're still on good terms.
Hey,
yup.
Yeah. Shit. Happy Easter.
Mr. Flores, did you see the video again? Yes, on a news outlet. Mr. Flores messaged me with a screenshot. Did you keep the messages? No, I wanted nothing to do with it. This is when the video first came out 2 years ago. Were you contacted by law enforcement? Yes. Did you tell the truth? No, I wanted nothing to do with it. Did you get your own lawyer and then tell the truth? Yes. No further questions,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Steele. Sir, you were in the condominium unit with Mr. Combs and the others and received double what your boss was requesting. Fair? Yes. You told your boss because you're honest, right? Yes. You asked Mr. Combs for work? Yes. Let me show you the NDA. Under NDA, you can't speak, is my understanding. It says nothing prohibits truthful statements in legal proceedings. I see that. You weren't law enforcement, no? No. I have nothing further. Redirect. This is when the AUSA comes back. He goes, para 4, can you read it? Can you read it after, however? And Garcia says, yes. Notify company to allow company to prevent disclosure. So you'd have to notify them first. Yes. Objection overruled. Now, why is this important? Because the defense made it sound like, well, Mr. Combs didn't stop you from telling the truth, did they? He's like, well, the way I understood, but is it in the contract? No. Good. So he's trying to make it sound like Diddy's not stopping you from going to tell the truth. And then the AUSA says, yeah, read paragraph 4. What does it say? Before you tell the truth, what do you have to do? Let the nigga I just watched on camera with the big fucking bodyguard beat a bitch in the hotel lobby. I'm telling you, this witness is probably one of the most important ones right now. During a search at Miami Airport, law enforcement seized 2 cell phones from Christina Quorum. She's his right-hand man. And what did they find on those 2 cell phones? Read this. 24 contacts were located on one of the phones, including, in quotations, Eddie my angel. And another one is Eddie my angel friend intercontinental.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
This corroborates the entire story that security guard just told. There is also a photo of the IDs on the device. Which IDs are they talking about? Remember before they took the bribes, he wanted my ID and that Mr. Medrano and the responding officer, Mr. Flores. They found those on the phone. This happened over 8 years ago. Right after this witness came up, the CFO, which I believe is the chief financial officer for Diddy's companies, came to the stand. That means that he's about to testify under subpoena about all the behind the scenes of financial transactions that happened for Diddy. And he just testified to the extortion of Cassie's mother. So they go on break. All right, I want to just pause it there. Yesterday, they had the cross-examination of Mia, who was the second victim. And she was the one who's testifying to the fact that Combs forced her to, snort things. Diddy forced himself on her multiple times. She testified to the fact that he was incredibly controlling. He witnessed him beat Cassie. She witnessed a lot of violence. Cross-examining comes across, and that's Brian Steele's time. And at this point, he's laying into her. He's showing video evidence of the fact that, she's wished Combs happy birthday a bunch of times. She sent him a bunch of strange messages showing like affection, love, a lot of things that just made her seem incredibly
willing.
Not credible. That's the best way I could put it. So the defense does a pretty great job on cross-examination, making her seem like she's nothing and her claims are nothing. Even though she came across initially as credible, I think the defense did a fantastic job in that regards. Not that I agree with it. It doesn't matter what I agree with. I'm talking about the job they're doing.
Yeah, the way they make it look.
The problem for the prosecution is simple.
Everybody that's coming out, everybody else that's coming out. It's not. Yeah, you did. Like you won that fight, but the battle is not over.
The battle's not over. The battle's not over. You got all this baby oil, you can't stop it, bro. I'm serious. All this baby oil, like when a nigga does this, he going to jail. You know what I mean? When a nigga does this, he's going to jail. Okay? And with that in mind, I want y'all just to think. Baby oil right now, 2-for-1 special. John & Johnson, Amazon, $25.99. I pay full price because I'm worth every dollar. Now, okay.
Why the wig? The wig's on the floor. Why the wig?
I don't know. When I put on the wig, I just feel creepy. And that, when I want to get in my Diddy face.
You don't need no wig. You don't need the wig.
I don't need it.
You're glistening.
The same way Diddy don't need that baby oil in that room. But you know what? When you a bad boy for life, Big dong. Put it in Cassie. Yes, that's my direct. That's how I feel this nigga was in the back of the room.
Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me.
Yay.
You oil,
Happy
bruh.
birthday to
Why are you holding your boobs?
It's not holding my boobs. This is just me, getting comfortable.
God damn.
Okay, like I was saying. So, the fact that they have all these witnesses who are going to flip is just very difficult to overcome this. The defense, they're doing the best they can. They just have an undefendable client, in my opinion. And the thing is, they've already proven RICO. They've already hit multiple predicate acts. They 1,000% have him for this bribery charge. They're going to have him on obstruction of justice. They're going to have him when it comes to the drug distribution. Why? Because they already arrested his drug. They going to get this man. The only question I told y'all is how long. But
ever.
Giddy,
Forever.
Yep.
well, he's already
Forever.
50, right?
Forever.
So
He's done.
he gonna die in jail.
Done.
You know?
He's done.
But this week is the week that they take the big old strap on of the law and they fuck him. They fuck him real good. All right? And I think that's what's happening.
You're glistening for no reason.
Hey, that's not the baby oil. That's my personality.
Word on the streets, and it is yet to be confirmed, but apparently 50 Cent wants to talk to Trump to not pardon this dude. But
that's petty.
And I adore the pettiness. I adore the pettiness. Not yet to be confirmed, but I love that.
You ever seen this photo? Is Diddy on a bike?
Yeah.
And then 50's in the back. You know there ain't no seat on that bike, right?
Y'all some monsters, man.
Oh my God.
Shout out to 50. You have to say in hip hop, 50 is like a prophet.
And everything that 50 says, you need to watch that. Someone needs to investigate everything he says.
Yep.
Everything he claims, you need to go and check it.
50
Anyway.
Cent is the Simpsons of the rap game.
Yes.
The way the Simpsons predicted a lot of shit, 50 doing the same. The feds, when they come for you, it's like an avalanche. This is why I was telling people, like, there's no case or whatever. I'm like, you guys have to understand what
they got baby oil in the
what a
feds.
federal prosecution means.
They got
This is
baby
not
oil
a
in the
state
feds.
prosecution. There's a reason why their conviction rate is high. There's a reason why they're going crazy. People are
You're
like,
gonna be
I don't
all
see
right.
RICO. I'm telling you, it was very obvious when you read the indictment, the kind of proof they had and who they had flipped. Only one he has a chance on is the trafficking. And that's important because it probably carries the highest charge. You're talking about a minimum 20 years. But the RICO conviction?
It's done.
Oh!
It's done. They flipped everybody like Diddy flipped Cassie from her back to her stomach. It's crazy.
Allegedly. Diddy never did that. That was the escorts. Just want to
Sure,
make that
but
clear.
he commanded
Because
the
Diddy was in that room like this, Daddy, and you're like, ooh, I like that. I like it when you hit it from the back.
Take that.
It's me and you
Oh my
and
God.
the escort.
Anyways, there's nothing else to say on my part.
I've been waiting.
It's a wrap.
Think I want to make my move.
It's a wrap.
Tell me, baby, if you like it.
It's a wrap. You want to pay wages. How long you think? I say
Me?
32.
That's what you said initially wasn't that. You remember what you initially said?
What?
Initially, what you said was like 5 to 10 years. Once Corin flips, once the other guy flips, what they're going to get him on is eventually kidnapping and holding Cassie against her will. That's what I suspect.
How much?
And I think when that happens, that's when the trafficking comes into play.
How much?
Life in prison. You know, the funny thing is, the defense is not even arguing that he isn't a horrible person. They're saying, yeah, he beat her a few times. And they're not even arguing. So you have to imagine a jury is going to find it in their best interest to find him guilty because of everything that's coming out.
Yeah. He's going to be guilty on all charges.
That is-
I say he's going to be guilty on all charges.
So here's my
Not
thing.
gonna
I
wait.
think he's getting life if the trafficking comes into play. If it doesn't, I got him on 30. I think they got him on RICO and the 2 counts of the violation of the Mann Act. That's what I think they got him on. For sure. That's my really... And they're doing a good job. They're making a lot of them seem wishy-washy. For people who don't really buy into how victims of, sexual violence or whatever react, especially apparently because the jury is a lot of older people, you can see the angle that they're going for, which is like, you're lying, you're just here for the money. The problem, because when there's so many of them testifying the same thing, it's like, do I really believe that all these people are lying, that the cop is lying, that the guy at the hotel is lying, that the security guard, like you just can't, the stylist is lying, like even the men are all saying the same thing. So I think that's what they have to overcome. But the trial's not over. It's over, but it's not over. Thoughts?
Over.
Let's know what y'all think. Puffy nipple combs.
All right, shout out to all you guys that's hung out with your boy. while I was recapping what's going on, because a lot of stuff like the situation with Tory Lanez. If y'all want to know the truth, I don't know who this dude is. I hear this name. Let me put it like this, man. 99.9% of the music that comes out, I don't know who it is. Like Chris Brown could have a #1 album out right now. I didn't know. That's how disconnected from trying to have an umbilical cord to the States and yet have my new life in another country. I'm not one of them dudes that have an umbilical cord to the States. I really don't. I probably have never heard of a whole Megan Thee Stallion song. Only reason I know all these people because of TikTok and stuff like that. I don't know these people. I mean, I've literally have never heard any of these songs. Like 90% of y'all songs over the last 5 years, I couldn't tell you any of them. Like literally none of them. None of them. I do not sit around trying to listen to hip hop or listen to R&B or the latest pop songs from the States. I don't. When I listen to music, I listen to music from, the mid 2000s back. I couldn't tell you what's it on the radio stations. Esco said, you ain't missing much. Yeah, man, I kid you not. He said, Dre, Chris Brown facing life in UK right now. What's going on with Chris Brown? What happened to him? What happened to Chris Brown, man? He facing life in UK. Yeah, I'll say some names like Tory Lanez. I don't in real life, cameras off, I don't know who this person is. I heard about the case and everything because everybody talks about it, but I have never heard any. I know I don't know if he's a singer or a rapper. I don't know. Oh, he's out on bond? Okay. Dave said, consider yourself blessed among men for not listening to modern day music. It was from an incident a few years ago. I didn't know that, man. Because when I see Chris on TikTok, they would always show him singing a song or something. So I'm like, well, he must be doing good. But okay, Chris Brown is busting bottles over ninjas' heads, trying to be a hood dude. Why don't these dudes want to admit, man, you are not hood no more, dog? You ain't been hood since you've came out with the first song. What were you, 12 years old, 14 years old? Let me see if you can run it. Yeah, when you doing all that run it dancing, dog, you ain't from the hood no more. Yeah, Bob, you with me? I'm glad. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you at all, man. The rappers that have lived and died, I have never heard a Nipsey Hussle song. Never in my life. Nope. I don't listen to American music like that. I really don't. I wish I could pretend like, yeah, I'm up on it. Oh, dude, I listen to music from around the world. Last place I'm listening to music. I know everybody around the world listens to music from America. I got you. But I'm just talking about my personal preference is to, now I'm in these other countries, I'm trying to learn sounds and instruments and voices and singing and even hip hop from other countries. I like to hear hip hop with the French dudes, with the Latin dudes, with the African dudes. I just like to hear music from the perspective of other people that I never heard that type of sound or instrument before. And so while I'm studying these global sounds, I miss out on what's going on in the States. Oh, he was on Bitcoin early. That's what's up. Talonia said, do you rock with Azaro Most Wanted? Yeah, we talked about that the other day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a good cologne, and the flankers and the sisters or brother colognes of that particular brand. Yes, sir. That's a good one. That one I need to have in my collection. But that's a good one. He said, "You ain't missing anything. Not listening to Nipsey Hussle song." I didn't know. I'll kid you. True story. I didn't know Cardi B from the States. I learned about Cardi B, which a lot of people don't know about in the States. She had songs out with Latin performers before she blew up in the States. Like on her Uphill Climb, she had songs with Latin performers. That's how you ever notice that the song I Like It Like That? Those were all Latin performers. I knew Cardi B for doing Spanish songs. That's who I knew her from. And then it was like, oh, she's just so happened to be from the States, and she was on the reality show. I didn't know her from a reality show. I didn't know that she did hip hop in the United States. I knew her from the 1 or 2 collabs that she did among Latins, because that's when I was really getting heavy off into my reggaeton again. And so it just so happened to be, that she blew up globally like she did. But I'd known her way before a lot of people in the States knew about her, because she was doing Latin songs first. He said, "I remember DMX. That's from the American hip hop. Yeah, for real. That's real American hip hop. Yeah, they do. See, I'm enjoying other countries' genre of music, or their version of our music, and not just ours. So I miss out on a lot, man, in the States. They replaced Nicki Minaj. Yeah. And I like Nicki. Now that's probably one of the female rappers that I did really enjoy, because I did lyrically, I really did like Nicki, because she was her own writer and she was good. Nicki Minaj is really a good writer, man. She get her songs for singing and writing, but I think that lyrically she is really, really good as far as her writing. Nipsey talks about being vertically integrated in his music, references business. That's what's up, man. I got to sit down one day and just listen to some Nipsey Hussle songs. I've never watched his music videos. Like when he died, I was like, okay. It's kind of funny. It's almost like going to a funeral of somebody that you don't know, and you kind of pretend like you sad for the family, but you don't know this person. That's how I am with American music. I don't know anything about it. Like Diddy could have came out with 12 albums since I've been gone, and I wouldn't have known anything about it outside of if Diddy didn't have this case. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, some metal bands. I like metal music. I'm gonna have to check him out. Check his music out. Let me get the head out of here since Quiet Storm is here. I'm out of here. Quiet Storm would drop $5 love. Shout out to you as soon as I get ready to walk out the door. Any grown women calling herself Barbie is a red flag. Mental case. Nicki Minaj. Well, Nicki always proclaimed that she was always unbalanced anyway. Oh, you said you in Theo's class? Shout out to Theo. Shout out to Theo. But I really am about to head out, guys. It's 11:15. That means it's 12:15 where you guys are. Shout out to the guys that are here. We got a chance to enjoy and see the ladies keeping ladies, as well as Kevin Samuels keeping ladies accountable. I know it's hard for a lot of women to be accountable, but it is what it is. Let's get ready to head out of here with some outros. Get some outros going. Let's see what we got. Let's start with this one.
Beamer, that's a big dance. Chrome heart got me kissing on his best friend. Put in work, baby, you could be my best man. Sending cash to my account, he investing. Dark shades on when I'm off the Migos. He tryna cuff me like a in a Rico. Moving through the like GTA with a cheat code. He claimed that he love me, but before not a freak. I just wanna dance all night. Can't nobody do it just like I. Boy, you got just what I like. Come on, baby, let's kiss, don't fight. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. Just say the word, baby, I'ma get you right. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. Ain't gotta say it, I know I'm the one you like. Ooh, damn, so the DJ turn the beat up. Got a white boy who be singing like a Beatle. Claim she getting bread, but I heard she doing keto. I don't do drugs, I'ma smoke a little weedo. I can't chase a man for no paper. Just think it's sweet, I'ma show him now or later. I be getting money on the wake up. He a broke boy, tell that get his cake up. Only with dope boys, they the ones who spinning paper, get your weight up. Told him send an Addy and to stay up. She's out here mad, told him assalamu alaikum. Who that 5'5", she don't even need no makeup. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. Just say the word, baby, I'ma get you right. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. Ain't gotta say it, I know I'm the one you like.
Peace.